Hello, is this thing on? Can you hear me? Hopefully the answer is yes, and I'm not just talking to the void. Can you hear me? Because if this is working, I should be both in Discord and in here. And both should be able to hear me. Now I understand why people tend to wear two sets of headphones, so they can test if it's working. This could cause some terrible feedback if I can hear myself. Okay, I can hear. Hello! Good, good. Now the main question is if someone fancies joining the Discord, can I hear them? Because that is the aim of the game. How's everybody doing? What is everyone up to? What are we going to be painting? After OBS completely fell apart last week, and my screen even died. Although I am now back with a new screen. So hopefully I will be able to see and hear anyone that joins the Discord. But we will need to wait and see. So what will we be working on this evening? The aim of the game is probably going to be working some more on maybe the Emperor. What I need to be working on is actually the Lord of the Rings stuff, because me and a friend are going to head down to the Lord of the Rings event. There's a doubles tournament coming up, and I will need to have stuff painted for that. Although I've got a little bit painted for that, but I definitely need some more painted. What is this? Oh, it's my camera, my down camera. Kind of need that. Can't really get rid of that. Or I could paint the angel. I don't know about you, but when you have something sitting on your shelf, literally staring at you, you do feel like maybe that's what you should be painting instead. What is everyone else going to be painting this evening? I received this print from my friend Nigel over at the Wonder Emporium, as his shop has gone live. If you're interested, I was going to say if you're in the UK, but if you're interested and you are not in the UK, you can order from him as well. It's his brand new website. He's an Etsy seller with thousands and thousands of positive 5-star reviews, and he's now gone up. And if you want to get anything, you can use Basic Brush 15 as a discount to get yourself some cool 3D printed models. Always blows my mind the rate in which models are going up in quality. What have we got here? The Emperor, watched a couple of years ago, and now look at the details of this cat. Amazing. I paint that, but only arrived today. So maybe the Emperor. What else do we have? I've still got a bunch of Romans to build. goodness. Are these dusty? No, they can't be dusty already. No way. They've almost got like a grey patina on them. Oh, it's the black wash. Of course it is. So I could paint those bad boys. Do you know what? I think yes. I was hoping to do some Lord of the Rings, but I think I will stick with some Romans. Because I've got so many of them still to do. And again, if I can get one project just scored off, that would be good. And managing to do 50 models in a single stream would indeed help. Remember, if you fancy joining in the chat, this is the live one. And Discord should be set up so that anyone who wants to join the chat can do so. I'll put the link, I think it's down in the description. I'll pop this down there as well. There we go. So remember, if you want to join the live chat, hopefully you should be able to hear me through either the stream or through Discord. Hello Rob, everything is going grand. Now I have a working OBS and a working screen. Trying to run any kind of stream I have discovered with just one screen is not possible. And I think most of us who've worked from home at all during the lockdown have got used to having two screens for doing anything. I know now that whenever I'm doing any kind of work, I quite like to have my mouse cursor highlighter on, even when I'm not actually sharing my screen. A ton of Romans. So let's get these out of the way. So I've still got the wash to do to make them look all oxidized, so with the contrast etheric blue, and then I have the dry brush of silver, which is the thing that's going to take a while, and then of course the base. Maybe I should have done the base first. Live and learn. If you do join the Discord and I apparently don't hear you, do let me know. They do really nice transfers for the Victrix stuff. Maybe my mainline Roman force, maybe they'll get the transfers. Not the auxiliaries though. I'm sorry auxiliaries, you don't deserve it. It's a dog eat dog world. What are you working on today, Rob? Right, I need a brush. Little bit big. Just a smidge. There we go. I don't know about anyone else, but I definitely keep some brushes past their best date. Sometimes you've got to let them go. Is anyone else doing any sort of tournaments or organised events? Is anyone running any leagues at the moment? Has anyone managed to actually keep their online leagues going? Sadly, our Dreadball one, our online Dreadball one, has not continued, which is a bit of a shame, because it definitely helped during lockdown. It would be nice if it continued. I unironically probably got more gaming done when I was locked in the house than before. Rob says, I'm in the middle of a terrain project. I'm using texture paint on the outside of the buildings I built last week. Ah, very nice. You put the pictures up in the Discord, didn't you? Sergey's doing an awesome one. Are we doing comments on here or on Discord tonight? It's Discord today. So, Kevin, it would be very cool if you wanted to be the first victim of coming on It'll be interesting to see if I've set it up right. There was an extra delay because I was trying to test it. Because it turned out I couldn't use this microphone on both the Discord and the live stream. So, of course, the live stream gets the better of the two audios. So, the Discord, you can either listen through the stream, although I think there's a delay. So, if we're having a conversation through Discord, it's probably going to be easier to listen through Discord. Although it does mean that you're going to get the shitty audio. Maybe if this goes well, I'll buy another microphone so you guys on the Discord will get a nice sound as well. But I've got to wait and see if it works first. The cat is now trying to lick the remains off my plate. Go away, cat. I'm currently recording and editing the video I promised where I'm making 4 different types of carry case. So I've got like the cheap one that I've made out of cardboard, which I'm actually really pleased with. I almost did like a rush job on it to get it done. So this will be pretty cool. Because I think if people did it really carefully and took their time, I think you could get some absolutely incredible results. But yeah, if you want to try joining the audio, please do feel free. Yeah, some of the models I'm working on at the moment are the green stuffing the heck out of the Lord of the Rings models at the moment. I really want to be able to take some Bjornlings with me. So that means I've got to get these bad boys all done. I don't know about anyone else, but I much prefer the Grim Bjorn model to the actual Bjorn model. The bear looks a bit odd to me, but maybe that's just me. I'm keeping an eye on Discord, so hopefully I'll be able to see if any audio starts coming through and I can't hear you. But basically, the way I've got it set up is the audio is coming through the computer, and then your audio should come through here. At least that's what the intention is. So when someone feels brave enough to do the audio, we'll work out if it's working. Yes, let me get some paint on these miniatures. It is meant to be a painting stream. My goodness, we're 20 minutes in just trying to get everything working. We'll see if this starts working. Do let me know. Oh, Supervise just put up a picture in the Discord. Texture on the paint bearing using AK terrain concrete. Hello, Kevin. Can you hear me?
Discord.
Oh no. No. Why can I not hear you? This was my great fear. Trying to do this test. I thought I had it. Let me change
Good evening.
Do you know what the funniest thing is? Anyone listening to the live stream can hear you because I can see that my OBS can hear you. Hello. Can I hear you now?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Oh, come on, no. Um, Let me set this to headset. Hello. I can hear you. This is fantastic. Although now OBS can't hear you. do people do people literally? I'm wondering now if people when they're doing streams literally have two headsets on. Like that's the only way I can sort of think that they must be doing it. Okay, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna try and set it here so that OBS can hear us both. Let's find out. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. Although I've had to turn down your decibels because you're in the red. Ah, there we go. I've no idea.
Oh,
I think it's Windows. Do you use Windows at all? Do you have a Windows computer?
I do, but I wouldn't say I was an expert at it.
Oh, I was just in case it turned out to be you were a Mac master race or something like that, and it
No, no,
it turned around. You were looking down on us mere mortals, but not today. Not today.
no, no.
So what are you working on this evening?
I've got a lovely new paint rack that I got out Amazon, so I'm going to go and give that a build. And I've got I don't know if you can hear in the background, I've got a 6-week-old that's screaming his head off, so he'll need feeding in a couple of minutes as well. So I might need to go, but I wanted to give you it so at least you could try it was working.
Oh, it's very much appreciated. If you want to come back later, please do feel free. Is that number one, the 6-week-old?
It is, yeah, yeah. I actually think we both chose Oliver as a name by the sounds of things.
No way! No way!
Yeah,
Yes,
honestly,
Oliver.
yeah. Mate, you mentioned it last week, and I had a bit of a laugh. So, yeah.
The question is if they'll ever actually be called Oliver, or if they will just be called Ollie or O or Hey You or Please Stop Screaming.
Yeah, definitely the last.
It always makes me laugh because my name is probably one of the most common names that you'll find. I've got a Sam on my course, although they're a woman instead of a man, which always makes me
Ah,
laugh because you go on site and people are not expecting you. And what's hilarious is Rachel, who's the person who does all the booking for our courses. She won't correct people, so I'll walk in and I'll be like, "Hi, I'm here to deliver the training," and they'll be like, "Oh, we were expecting a woman," and I was like, "No, I am Sam." And he put his deeper voice on. But I wonder, do we all feel about that? How do you feel about your name? Do you feel like your name is a common name?
oh no, I can't find my name on keychain stands anymore.
No, really.
Yeah, Kevin's a dead name apparently. Yeah.
Maybe they come and go in waves. Rob in the chat having a good laugh because, of course, Rob is his good classic name. That's going to be here forever.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, what am I going to paint in the end? What do you think? Do you think I should try the Horus Heresy thing, or do you think I should battle my backlog and try and get these 50 models done?
Oh, I'll get the 50 models done, definitely.
Yeah, I think someone messaged me on Instagram and they went, "Did you finish those 50 models after the stream?" No.
Right,
As
I
I'm
better go and see Oliver, but lovely
okay.
talking to you,
Thank
Sam,
you
and
very
I'll
much.
see if I can
Hopefully, we'll
get you
chat to
again.
you later. See you in a
Yeah,
bit.
no worries, man. See you in a bit.
In my desperation trying to get the stuff fixed, because this shows you how little time you have. But in my desperation trying to get stuff fixed last week, you can see just all these abandoned cables just dumped onto the desk. As I was like, you know what? Please, anything work. And then the monitor died as well as OBS dying. And so here we are. You call yourself the Kevin. That's why he can't find it on key change. He goes for the extra emphasis. Right, let me see about plugging my computer in, because of all the things I've plugged in. There's so many wires around here to try and get this working. But the one thing I didn't plug in is the power. So back in just one tick as I plug that in. Does anyone else have cables in their house that you're not 100% sure what they are? So there's a multi-tap behind there, and there was 4 cables plugged in, of which I know that this one is obviously a phone charger, so I knew I could safely unplug that one. But all the rest of them, I wasn't 100% sure what they were, and I was like, it's not worth the danger. It's not worth it. I'll lose everything, lose the stream and everything. Right. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. That's my monitor. Can't unplug that. I'm going to say that my phone is just going to have to run out of battery. Sorry, phone. I was looking at the phones actually, and I got the message. My phone is what I actually use for... My phone is what I use for all the recording. So when I'm recording stuff like footage for the videos, it's what I use. And I've just had a message from well, not even from the company that makes them, not from Google. I saw it on Google in like the scroll bar that this is the end of life for the Google Pixel 4. So I have to get a new phone now, which could be quite handy because then it means I would have 2 cameras for recording. So I could have one camera when I'm recording down the way, and then also have a camera for doing other stuff, which is pretty cool. Or I could stop being a cheapo and actually buy a real camera, but that's not happening. That's not happening. Right, let's get some of this done. Rob says we label them with the masking tape. That is a great idea, and I should do that. And I did do that with old cables. However, at some point, they all ended up getting mismatched, because I'm fairly certain this wasn't a PS3 cable. I'm fairly certain this is the cable that was in my monitor that died. So maybe that's why it died. Maybe the mystery is already solved. Maybe not, though. So let's do that. And now we know the audio is working. If anyone fancies joining in the Discord chat, do feel free. The audio is live, as we found when Kevin popped by. But it'll be nice to hear from everyone. I think we normally have about 12 people. We've got, what, 8 people on the stream at the moment? So if anyone else fancies popping in, do feel free. There's some cool pictures as well. Rob's posted a few more pictures of the train he made, not last week, but the week before. And then also making a hill out of the XPS crates. You made the crates yourself. That's cool. That is very cool. I've not tried doing that, actually. I'm always paranoid. I actually raided a skip. That sounds like a strong set of words. I acquired some material from a skip the other day, a whole bunch of XPS foam. And I haven't done anything with it yet. Why, oh why are they always so expensive? Why is all of the foam so expensive? Although, according to America, it's all very, very, very reasonably priced. There's actually there's a construction place, a construction company that's gone bust across the road from me. I went up and I was asking the security guard, I was saying, do you know who owns this? Because the company's gone bust, you know, because I'd like to buy some of the foam. Because they've just got stacks of this high density, huge black foam sheets just lying out there perishing in the bad weather. And so I was saying to the guy, I says, oh, do you know who it is? If it's you, I'll happily give some cash. But he said no, it wasn't him, which I was gutted about. I was hoping that maybe it might be him. Maybe he was the owner. Right, I am going to get some of this stuff painted if it kills me. Rob says XPS is easier to work with than you think. Oh, it's not the fear of working with it necessarily, it's the fear of wasting it. I think because it's so expensive and I so rarely come by it. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, if you can make an entire building out of it, you know, a sheet of foam costing 11 quid is still cheaper than, you know, buying the train itself from scratch. the immediate temptation there was to not put any of the oxidization on like his face or anything like that, because I was like, oh no, you can't do that. The point of this is he's meant to be a statue. He's meant to be. I remember I bought a bunch of, because at one point I wanted to collect Chaos Dwarfs, the Forge World ones for Old Hammer, and I bought a bunch off of eBay because the guy was selling them cheap because he'd already painted some. He just did it for the laughs, and then he was just chucking it back up. But the funny thing is when they arrived, they were so well painted in like 8 different paint schemes that I couldn't bring myself to paint over them. I was like, no, I'll ruin the amazing paint job on them already. So they ended up getting sold after barely adding anything to them. Oh, Sergey from MiniQuest is sending me some sneak peeks of his next video. Oh, it looks fantastic. His video, if you haven't watched it, about commissioning stuff on Fiverr, it inspired me so much that I went ahead and commissioned some thumbnails on Fiverr, which came out quite nice, but I don't think they weren't quite what I was hoping. I don't know what I had in mind. But basically, I wondered, I never see any of the channels, especially in our sort of hobby sphere, with like drawn, like, I don't know if cartoon would be the right word, but instead of being like real pictures, they were like cartoon pictures. So I was curious to see like what would that be like. However, like I said, they were really good, but they just weren't the vibe that I was looking for. So I might try again. I also commissioned someone to try edit a video to see if it was any faster. However, it wasn't that much faster. It's the man himself, Carl, who does all of the streams doing the interviews. Carl, if you fancy popping by the Discord at any point, do feel free, because this is the episode where the Discord audio is open, which could be very dangerous. But anyone can swing by and say hello with audio. And thankfully Kevin was here to help test it because it wasn't working straight away. I am painting the Victrix Romans. These are auxiliaries that have been sat in my loft. Well, they haven't been sat in my loft just. They've been sat, unbuilt, unloved in the backlog for far too long. So we built them one stream. We cleaned them another stream. We painted them gold a couple of streams ago. And now they are getting the patina, the oxidation on them. And for anyone keeping tally, no, I did not manage to get any more of the horses done. The train strikes around about here at the moment are making it a bit of a nightmare. You tend to leave the house at 6 a.m. and then get home after 6 p.m. And then, of course, you got all the house stuff and all the other work stuff that you didn't get a chance to do during the day to get caught up on. So that's why when I did the Fiverr, when I paid someone on Fiverr to do the video, I was really hoping it would go really well so that I could just start doing that. Because it was only $20, but therein lies the gist, doesn't it? Oh, welcome to the Discord. I think the link is also in the description. Not 100% sure, but it should be. Let's check. Is it in the description? Like I said, next time I'm going to have it so that I have maybe 2 audio things. So the audio for the Discord folks is nicer. Because right now I can't imagine it's very good. It's literally coming out of my headset, which is interesting. I would be curious. I don't know if you knew this, but if you try and hear your own voice, you will... The voice you hear and the voice that everyone else hears is different. So I think that'd be pretty cool if because it's coming through my headsets, does it sound more like my voice? I doubt it. It probably just sounds like very, very low quality microphones. Yeah, it is. Oh, there you are. What a happy little bird. Who are you interviewing this week? I didn't recognise the name. And also, if anyone has a recommendation for a new phone, like I said, the Google Pixel 4 is finally coming to its end. And I say finally coming to its end because it was only going for 3 years. So, frankly, that doesn't seem long enough. You have a phone contract for 2 years. They support it for 1 more year and then immediately kill it off. There's nothing wrong with my phone. This is outrageous. There was a chap at the Warboot. There's a Warboot around here at Element Games quite regularly. And he was selling elephants. And I didn't buy them because I hadn't built any of this army. And he was selling them for a decent price. Mainly because I still don't know what I'm going to do with this army. However, there's another one in January. And if I have all these guys painted, I think picking up a few elephants is not unreasonable. However, that could be me just trying to justify my choices. Carl says, Ron from Seawolf's Den. He's pretty much pretty new to YouTube, but he's doing games and crafting for Yonks. Helps organise the Mace convention in the USA. Oh, very cool. If you ever have an empty slot, Matt, the guy I do the podcast with, he can talk for hours. So if you want to do like a 10-hour stream, he will easily keep you entertained for 10 hours. He does, obviously, the Hobby Hoarders podcast with me. He does the Geek Pride D&D podcast. He does the Geek podcast for Geek Pride. The man is prolific. So if you ever need anything from there, he'd be good. But I hope you're working on something. Whenever I'm listening to your streams, I've always got something on. You did one I really, really enjoyed recently. What was it? Let me bring it up. Does anyone else have multiple YouTube accounts? I've got obviously this one and then my main one, which is a standard account, but it's a premium account so I can watch stuff without ads. So if you're ever looking at your YouTube stats, Carl, and you see a premium person watching the whole stream, this guy. I'm liking the changes that they've done to YouTube, actually. The fact that you now, when you go into a channel, it's finally rolling out onto the phone, that it's now split, so live streams its own tab. I really like that. That makes me tempted to unhide my previous live streams, because it won't feel like it's being so cluttered, although I need to sort my homepage. So many things to do. The roof is also going well. The roof is going very well. I bullied / tricked my friend who's a plumber to come around, and he's much better. Obviously, as part of his job, he does like wood cutting and fitting and whatnot to get boilers and pipes and whatnot in. So he taught me how to cut around weird posts, because one of the things in the attic was these upward joists, but not a single one of them was in a straight line. So the wood we had to cut 3 different bits of wood, 3 of the slats to get it to fit in, and we had to cut each one to fit. So that in itself took us several hours to do. However, it's the hardest thing for the roof project now done. So that studio is one step closer. I've also got my little wall bit now. So I'm currently repairing the brickwork on the chimney because it's absolutely fecked. But I've got the little wall bit that everyone's names are going to go on. So I'm working on that at the moment. Carl says just the two, my personal channel and the channel, but I barely use my personal anymore. See, the only reason I still use my personal one is because it has the premium account on it. So I'm sure at some point I can transfer it across, but when it runs out. It's funny though, because loads of people are like, what? You pay for YouTube? That's insane. Yeah, but you need to pay for Netflix, don't you? And with Netflix, soon we're going to have ads on Netflix as well, aren't we? So, what's the difference? I think it's well worth it. For the amount of YouTube I watch, it is my absolute #1 source of entertainment. I have so many channels. This is one of the things, meeting all the nice folks like Carl through YouTube. It means that I have so many YouTube channels. It's fantastic. Because I don't know about you, before I started getting right into this, I would sometimes get home and my YouTube subscription wouldn't have a new video. And it was tragic. And now I have more and more and more. And it's great. Rob says sometimes I watch old live streams when I'm crafting. I would watch some of those if you unhide them. Oh, that's very nice of you. The battle towards 4,000 watch hours is going. But taking 6 months off to have a baby definitely cramps the old YouTube. I think I've got 400 hours. Oh, I'm not allowed to, I'm not going to show them. I won't spoil someone else's video. But Sergey is showing me pictures of his latest project that he's making a video on, and it's very cool. He bashed out a video. It's this tiny shield, like maybe the size of my thumbnail. It's the logo for the video game that he's making, for the company that he's making, and he did non-metallic metal on it, and he was like, oh, this is just my rush job, like I'm not that happy with it. I would give my left, would I give my left arm? No, I'll give my left pinky. I would give my left pinky to be able to paint that good non-metallic metal, especially in 40 minutes, for crying out loud. The thing is I love the way it looks. I think even when people, aren't happy with how it looks, I still love the way it looks. I had the Conan. This is the problem. I've painted a lot, but I always sell the stuff. I had the Conan stuff, and I painted all of their weapons. And I did, every single one of them is non-metallic metal. And I liked it. Although it did kind of look like, stone in some regards. So maybe they've got a point. Many acted a video recently on that non-metallic. Rob, have you ever tried creating your own texture paint? I can't remember whose video. There was someone released a video very recently about it, and they made the texture paint. I was like, oh, I'll need to try that, because I tend to buy the little pots of Vallejo. Although Um, I did. I did decide to just go for it. So I bought some ground texture in a big pot this time. Because goodness knows I've spent enough on individual pots, and I didn't want to do all these 50 guys with, just Games Workshop's tiny pot. It would take like 50 of those to work. Go in then, Carl. I'm sure you've got a video. What's the name of the video? I'll watch it later. Sure, you got a video on making homemade paste. One I saw that was really cool recently. Someone put it up on Heavier Metal, which is one of the paint groups I'm in, and they'd made like a dry palette for wicking the paint off your brush. And they'd put things like barrels on it. They put little ladders on it, and it was really cool. It was like a piece that you could have on your desktop. Crackle paint is one I'd like to figure out. DIY texture paint. Crackle paint. So like the sort of the sand stuff. That makes sense. Although, to be honest, I would be happy with just figuring out how to apply it properly. Because I don't know about you, but I always find when I'm trying to use the Crackle paint Games Workshop ones, I haven't tried any other brands actually. So if you got any recommendations, do let me know. But I don't actually get it right all the time.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'd forgotten that was even on. I wasn't expecting your voice. I was like, I've unmuted something. Something's gone wrong. Oh no! I'm furiously clicking. Hello.
Hello, I see my cunning plan worked.
It did. It scared the bahookies out of me. So if that was your intention, it was very good.
Yeah,
How are you
anyway,
doing then? I don't think you've actually said what you're actually working on, because I hope you're hobbying. That's what we do this for.
yeah, I'm chilling out because I got home from work not long ago, so I'm chilling out and then I'll pick up something to do.
Yikes! I had the audacity to claim about getting home after 6 o'clock, and you've only just got home. And are you not like an hour ahead as well?
Yeah,
Oh
kind
my
of thing.
goodness. Yikes.
That's okay.
What time did you leave this morning?
I forgot what this morning was like. But anyway. So we're talking about texture paste. I'm not sure if I missed something because I jumped from Discord to YouTube and there's a bit of a time difference, a few seconds difference.
Yeah, I was saying, like, if anyone has a video on making it, you must already have a video on making it. You must.
Yeah,
do.
it's called DIY texture paint.
That's what you were. Yeah, you said that in quotation marks, but I wasn't sure if you were you were mentioning it. That would make sense. So, what have you tried so far with the Crackle paint? Have you tried making it, or have you not tried it yet?
I have tried some simple stuff, like for example, painting directly on PVA. That was a mess. Don't do that.
What did you then like try and dry it rapidly? Because that's exactly what I would think. I would think, like the rubbery glue, like that you can glue in your hands and then peel off. I think that would be my first sort of instinct as well.
Yeah, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm sure someone has figured it out. We'll just need to dig deeper. But yeah, you mentioned applying it.
Yeah, I never get it right. I don't know if I've got any examples. I think maybe I might have some in the cabinet where I can never get, because I want like big cracks. I like a big crack rather than little ones, and I can never get it right. What am I doing wrong? Share the wisdom with me.
Okay, so far what I found with crackle paste is that if you want larger cracks or better texture, you just need to really pile it up.
But do you do that in several thin layers, or do you just do one big?
No. That's the thing. You need one big dollop because it needs to dry unevenly.
And is there like something I'm supposed to put underneath it? Because when I put a big dollop, quite often what happens is you just get like one solid blob and then it doesn't crack?
Yeah, what I like to do is just pile it on and then use a brush to a damp brush to kind of move it around.
Right. So maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'm drying it out too quick.
I don't think that would be a problem. I mean, but if you're accelerating it in some way, then like for example, if you use a hairdryer or something like that,
Yes. That's what
yeah,
I've been doing.
what you would be doing is by accelerating the process, you're making it dry more evenly.
Ah. So it's meant to dry out evenly, and then there's like
Yeah,
the paint
because
pull
that's what
aside.
causes the cracks. Yeah.
Right. Well, there you go. See, that's all I needed. Sometimes in videos I watch it and people explain how to do something, but not why to do something, and then it doesn't help. So why are you not on the speed paint team? What's that about?
Me, speed painting? I mean, come on.
Well, I thought maybe you'd be on the testing team. Because what have they got?
On,
They've got Goobertown Hobbies, the scientist,
uh-huh.
and then they've got some other people. And I was like, of all the people I know that's done a video on everything. And again, who knows? Have you chatted to Early Painter before? Have you ever met the guy? I suppose that's the disadvantage, isn't it? I've at least met them because obviously they're based here, or they were at a convention.
Yeah, I'll probably hop over it sometime and just go around bothering all of you.
Would you ever consider Golden Demon? Is that something you would have a look at?
Yeah, but I probably need to start painting about 5 years in advance because I am a very slow painter.
I loved your latest project. If you've not gone and watched the video, anyone watching, shame on you. Go watch it. Go watch it now. Just put it in a separate little window. What gave you the sort of the inspiration for that?
For the thing in the well kind of thing.
The froggy.
No, basically, was running this Discord challenge with Mike from Net1 Videos. It was to build something for Halloween, and originally the plan was to make a 10 millimeter scale Sarlacc kind of thing for a kind of a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
Then here and there just mutated into that thing.
Have you ever seen the picture of the full Sarlacc where it's underground? Like it's like a. This is what it would look like if you could see through the ground, through the earth.
I don't think I have.
Oh, Google it. It's terrifying. Because obviously something with a mouth that big, you would expect it to be quite big, but it's absolutely ginormous. I don't know if that's Canon images I've seen, but it's terrifying. What would you like to be eaten by? What do you think? Would a Sarlacc or would you rather something else?
Yeah, Sarlacc's fine. Based on the fact that it doesn't exist, which makes it good.
Oh, I mean, we don't know.
Because
it's in a
you
galaxy
cannot
far, far away. You know.
No, far away is fine. Something in a galaxy far, far away cannot eat you. That's good.
True. This is true. And I mean, did you watch The Mandalorian at all?
A few episodes. I want to follow up on it, but yeah, I need to catch up on that.
I said the wrong one, not The Mandalorian. The Book of Jango.
No, I haven't.
Ah, well, I'm guessing you already you've watched the original series.
Obviously.
Obviously, good. So you know he falls in the Sarlacc pack. Well, the cool thing is you actually get a little bit about him having to get out of there, which is pretty cool. That's a show again. You know, it's the shiny syndrome. I don't know about you, but as soon as I watched that show, I was like, hey, I want to go ahead and now buy the model from, because Legion do a really nice model of him.
Oh yeah.
For the
Star Wars Legions. All right.
Yeah. Have you done Star Wars Legion all?
No, I haven't.
Kevin says, howling at the Book of Jango. Think you mean Book of Boba Fett. Whoops.
Jango was the guy from the prequels, yeah?
I don't know. I'm scared to say it now because Kevin will give me in trouble. I really like the spin-off series they're doing with Gandalf. When Picard says, "Remember to use the Force." That's the episode I like. I'm a fake Star Wars fan. I'm sorry to admit it. I have watched them, and I like like I said, I like the Star Wars Legion game. What would you say you are? Are you a Trekkie or are you a Star Wars fan?
Definitely a Star Wars fan, but I definitely don't follow all of the series, and I'm probably behind on about 99% of the lore.
You're probably not, because of course Disney killed it all, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I did like the few episodes of the Mandalorian that I watched, so I don't know, maybe there's hope.
Or is it just time fitting it in the day?
So yeah, I never really got into Star Trek on the other hand.
No.
No.
Fair enough.
I mean, Star Trek, Babylon 5, and all that kind of boom right over my head.
Are you more of a fantasy guy than a sci-fi guy?
Yeah, for sure.
So have you been watching Rings of Power or the?
Yeah, I watched all of one episode, and I said, okay, I'm going to watch the second episode to see if it gets any better. And I was like, nope.
But at the same time, I want those as models. I want the Numenorian cavalry.
No, I mean, for example, one of the things that I did go back and watch one particular clip from, I think it was the fifth episode, I'm not sure, but it's the one where they're loading horses onto a ship.
Yeah.
Because someone had told me about it, and yeah, no, there's no way they could be that stupid. But yes, they're loading a single horse on a ship with a crane. It's like, yeah, guys, you know what? You have to take an entire cavalry regiment up there, yeah?
Yep.
It's gonna take a while.
And also, did you see the ships? And you're going, hang on a minute. How does that fit like 100 or however many it was meant to be? Let alone the horses. Like, where did they fit the horses on those tiny ships?
Maybe they're just very close friends and stuff like that.
I mean, they'd have to be. Maybe what we weren't seeing is there's hamster wheels at the bottom, and so there's just a hamster wheel, and that's how they're rowing.
Yeah, let's put it this way: the Rings of Power was probably not the finest moment of the whole Lord of the Rings franchise. I'm being extremely diplomatic. I can do diplomatic.
To be honest, I'm the kind of person that I'm just happy when some extra has. One of the greatest moments of my life was, have you ever watched Firefly?
Of course I did.
Okay.
So I love the show.
I bought them because we didn't have Sky or anything like that. So I bought them on DVD. And this was during the time where, do you remember when CDs used to be double-sided?
Vaguely. I mean, I know I lived through that period, but I don't recall that.
Exactly. So what happened was I watched what I thought was all of Firefly. So imagine enjoying all of Firefly, getting to the end and being disappointed that there's never going to be any more. And then, I mean years, like 6 years later, you realise that it's a double-sided disc and you've only watched half of Firefly.
Oh, nice.
It was incredible. Because I don't know about anyone else, but I always suffer from this thing of, you hear about people getting hypnosis to actually forget, like, reading something like Harry Potter so they can read it again for the first time. It was like that. It was like watching Firefly for the first time.
Yeah, Firefly is one of the shows that I don't mind rewatching. It's not like I rewatch it every year or whatever, but yeah, I definitely don't mind rewatching it. So Kevin is saying also you gotta love being able to believe in magic rings, wizards, and fantasy races, but the issue you had with was both horse logistics. Yeah, the issue I had with that show was bad writing, but yeah, I think that's the thing. I mean, I don't believe in magic rings, wizards, and whatever, but I kind of enjoy the suspension of disbelief. But they're like, no. I mean, it would have made more sense if they had, I don't know, teleported the horses onto the. Okay, I can roll with that, but yeah, winching them up one by one is like, yeah. Aren't you supposed to be like a super advanced race or something?
There's a scene in the Simpsons where they're all interviewing Xena Warrior Princess, the actress obviously that played her, and they're
Oh
like,
God, yeah, I think I remember the episode. That's ages ago, years ago.
yes, oh yeah, it's a long time ago. But do you remember what she said to every one of the questions? They were, in episode 13, I believe you're riding a horse and then you're flying. How did that happen? Do you remember what her response is to every single question?
I'm loose lawless or something like that.
No, she was like, there was a wizard. There was a wizard. There was a wizard. Fair. Fair. So you into Romans? Is that something that you've ever been interested in, or not? Not into historical
Uh,
fantasy.
I do have a copy of Hail Caesar. I have played a few games with tokens. I never got around to buying Roman miniatures though.
That's cool. I've not played it because it's by Warlord, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't love the miniatures, but is the game good? Would you recommend it?
Yeah. The mechanics are very good. I would definitely recommend it. And the thing is that it doesn't really care about miniatures, just like individual miniatures, like I don't know, like Warhammer or Age of Sigmar, what have you. Yeah? You only care about the bases.
Yeah.
So you can technically have like 6mm guys on a base, and yeah, that's your unit.
So the base itself like acts and functions together and dies together as a unit, that sort of thing.
Kind of thing, yeah. You can play it with individual figures, but obviously you still be moving a whole block of them.
All right. So have you ever played Mantic's Kings of War? Have you ever heard of Mantic? Hopefully you've heard of Mantic.
I have heard of it. I have not had the opportunity to play it.
Fair enough. But they have their Kings of War is very much like that. It's units, blocks of units. So you move the entire unit together.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Warhammer Fantasy, the way it used to be played, basically what you had was all these rank and flank games. You don't really need the individual miniatures. You just need the regiment.
I remember we once played at Games Workshop, and this is not quite after they became kind of unfriendly to people playing older games in their shops, but they weren't back like the good old days with the red shirts. And we'd brought in an army, but we didn't have enough models, so we were moving like pieces of paper around to represent some units. Oh, they immediately went, no, you can't do that, and then they very kindly let us borrow the models from the shop to play.
Yeah, one.
Sorry,
yeah. No, go ahead, please.
I was going to say, one thing I would like to do is I would love to go ahead and do like a battle report, but with floor hammer, or at least that's what we used to call it when we were kids. It would be floor hammer because you'd play on the floor because you didn't have a table big enough, and you'd have books and like Coke cans. Have you? Have you ever seen
I mean,
a battle report with someone doing that?
Not exactly, but I did make a couple of battle reports where I was experimenting with downscaled Warhammer Fantasy. So playing with instead of moving in inches, you move in centimeters. So everything is smaller, and that's fantastic because you can fit a 2,000 point game, I think, on a coffee table.
That is good. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what I've been doing is I've gotten hold of some War Master miniatures, which are the 10mm ones. Yeah.
Yep.
And and I really like that scale because you can make some properly scaled terrain.
Yeah.
Because in 28mm, you're not going to have a properly sized castle or fortress because it was you wouldn't have the space to store it. I definitely don't.
No. It's what Matt absolutely loves from the podcast. He's always obsessed with. He just wants games that you can scale right up. Have you seen Warlords Black Powder? Is it where they're now doing 6mm? They're doing historic 6mm.
I haven't seen the miniatures. I know about Black Powder. They've got a whole range. I think it's got there's Hail Caesar, Pike and Shot, Black Powder, and what's the World War II game called? But yeah, they've got the whole range.
Is Black powder the one that's the 6mm one? I've forgotten what it's called now. It's all based in it's sort of the Napoleon era sort of stuff.
Yeah, possibly. But
But
I mean, yeah,
I think it's really
if you want for small scale games, yeah, definitely Napoleonic era games are the thing. I mean, you've even got 2mm scale stuff.
2mm. What?
Yep.
Who makes 2mm models? What does that even
There are
look like?
If you squint at them really hard, you can tell they're meant to be people. But they are very fast to paint, I can tell you that.
Do you dot the eyes? Have they got pupils?
I very much doubt it.
One video I'd quite like to see. So if you fancy making it, is my biggest problem with like sort of the today stuff is the fact that everyone is trying to paint every model like to golden demon standard, and I think it really ruins the effect because everyone is looking at these amazing models and getting really disheartened. It'd be cool to see a video where, like, do you paint all the buckles on models? Do you like paint every single detail on models?
It depends. If I'm painting a unit, definitely not. I did a video a couple of years ago. So I was painting these beastmen from Battle Masters from 1992.
Nice. So old metal models, lead models.
No, they're plastic. They're basically Battle Masters was this thing that Games Workshop had done with Milton Bradley.
All right, cool.
So yeah, I mean they're cheapish looking plastic casts, but you get lots of them.
That is cool.
Yeah, and yeah, I fell into the trap of trying to paint each and every one of them carefully.
You did or you didn't?
I did. That took me about 6 weeks to paint 20.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Then I think it was last year before that, and Elston had made his video about painting. Elston from Elston Nation had made his video about painting 86 goblins in 4 days, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try that, and it wasn't 86; it was 20 mummies, I think, and yeah, just keeping things going is much easier.
I think it needs a dumb name though. That's what it needs. You know how the slap chop 2.0, whatever people are calling it. It needs a name. Like it needs to be called like back to basic painting. You need to start a movement. That's what I want to do. I want to start a movement of people going, because you know how there was the F cleanliness movement. I say movement. That's a bit of grandiose term. Do you remember when that was going on? Everyone was like, "Oh,
not really, no."
Forget smoothness." Oh, well, basically, you know, the heavy metal style is very, very, very smooth, slow transitions, so hundreds and hundreds of layers.
Yeah.
Well, basically, there was a movement where people were like, "Oh, F smoothness," you know, your painting's allowed to be like messy. Well, I want to do one where it's like forget detail or something like that. Like, paint your models like don't paint every. So on these guys, obviously, I'm painting them as statues, so I'm definitely not painting the detail. But on like Space Marines, nobody's gonna notice the little pouches, so skip them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the way what I can tell you for sure is that if I had to pick up some models, throw them in a box, and carry them somewhere for a game, I would rather it be the ones that I spent 2 hours painting than the one I spent 2 weeks painting.
Yeah. Do you spend 2 weeks painting a model? What was the last model you really spent time on? Have you ever spent 100 hours on a model?
Actively, no. Overall, probably yes.
Really? What do
Yeah, I mean,
do you know?
I had this ogre miniature. I think I had started painting it in 2018. Finished most of it, got bored, and eventually came back to finish it 3 weeks ago, I think.
I mean, that's not actively painting. Do you think you paint?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's
actively
how I said inactively. No, actively painting, I do get bored eventually. So if I start taking too long, I will just usually get bored, set it aside, and forget about it for some time.
It's a video I would like to do is because you've seen the videos where people have done, oh, I paint it for 10 minutes, I paint it for an hour, I paint it for 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever seen someone just like trying to see if they can improve after painting a single model for 100 hours. Do you think you would learn anything in 100 hours, or do you think you would just lose the will to live?
Yeah, I think I would probably lose all sense of time, taste, sight, whatever.
I do want to do. Have you done any of the 24-hour challenges where you just paint all the way through?
No, I don't think I could stick out a 24-hour painting challenge because I prefer crafting terrain to painting.
Oh, so you can still do a 24-hour, or have you already done a 24-hour of terrain?
Yeah, that I could probably do. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Because it would be cool to do, get a bunch of us together. Maybe do like a stream where like the stream is split in four, so you can see the four different cameras or switch between them, and just do 24 hours and check in on each person. Because I think, was it Benji's Hobbies? Have you seen Benji's Hobbies channel before?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, he did one, didn't he? Where they went to like the shop and they did a charity one there, didn't they?
I think I might have missed that one.
Oh, well, they
But
basically went to a hobby shop and they painted for 24 hours, taking turns.
yeah, what I remember definitely is Knights of Dice had done a charity stream. I forgot how long it was ago, but I think it was not 2020, no. Yeah, 2020 probably. So it was a 24-hour craft challenge and had people dropping in from all over. I think Lou from Geek Gaming Scenics was definitely there. Elston as well, yeah.
I really liked the video where it was Luke versus Zorpazorp, and Luke painted all of his Praetorians, and Zorpazorp got the red done on his voice strings. But Luke's kind of painting style is the thing that I want to encourage. I wish people would subscribe more to people that paint armies and don't paint a single model, because I think the problem is what we do is we all subscribe to hundreds and hundreds of these amazing painters on Instagram who paint one model a year, and so you see that one model and you go, why do my models look good? And it's like, well, because they spent an entire year on a single model.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're painting to play with stuff. Things are going to get bombed, knocked over. They're going to have dice flying into them. So yeah, chill. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect because trust me, it won't look perfect after a few games.
It also won't look perfect from 6 feet away. Like, I am curious. I would like to do something like where get like a good painter and like put like a well painted model on the tabletop, but then also paint like a not one and see, from 6 feet, or okay, 6 feet's probably an exaggeration. How far would you say you are from the gaming table? 3 feet?
3 feet, 4 feet, maybe.
Yeah. Do you think you could tell the difference between a model with the little satchels around its waist painted versus a model with not?
Probably not, especially if you have units, because again, once you have groups of stuff, it's going to be a lot harder to say, okay, this one is prettier than that one.
Exactly.
And the thing is that again, an averagely painted large unit is going to look a lot better than a small unit because as soon as you have just 2 or 3 things to look at, then you're going to be, but that one's eyes are slightly off, or maybe there's a spot of something there. I mean, if you look at a unit of 30, 40 things, then it's like, nope, those things look perfect.
Yeah, maybe the exception of really, really well paint the banner, so it's like the center focus of the.
Oh yeah, because that's going to draw the eye anyway. Yeah.
See, you've got a similar attitude to me. How many models do you think you've got painted in your house? Do you think it's got past 100?
Oh yeah, definitely past 100.
Oh, nice.
But remember, I've been hoarding stuff since 92, I think, so I've had some time.
Are you going to do a follow-up video on some of your giveaways? Because I'd love to see a look at where they came from, look at them now sort of video. Because you've given away so many like models that you've built. It'd be cool to sort of like follow up with those.
Yeah, could do, yeah. But it depends, because I mean, once they're gone, I don't like to bother people and just send me photos of stuff. But if they do, yeah, I might. Mm.
What is your next video going to be on? Do you have a spoiler yet? Do you have like a list that you work down, or is it purely on whim?
No, just do what I feel like at the time.
Very
I'm
good.
yeah, I do enough planning at work. I don't like to do that in my personal life.
I mean, if you look
Yeah, but
around my house, that would suggest I do a lot of tidying at work. I don't think that logic doesn't always play.
so yeah. However, I got into another challenge this time. It's let there be the team is let there be light, so it has to be something that either includes a light source,
Yeah.
an LED or something, or OSL.
Have you chatted to Sergey about that challenge, MiniQuest 64?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say because he'd be interested, but I
Yeah,
haven't.
he's in. Hey, Sergey,
Oh,
speak of the devil.
is he just saying hello in the chat? Ah, there you go. My two favorite old people speaking.
Yeah, you speak of tidying up, and Sergey, and boom, he appears. How are you doing, man? So
Because
yeah,
imagine trying to paint 2mm eyes. There's got to be a video, doesn't there? There's already videos like Miniac did a video, didn't he, of painting a little vampire. There's got to be videos of someone painting even smaller.
I don't know. Things that possibly we have a very tiny robot you could paint the eyes, but I don't see anyone do it. I mean, think about it. The bristle on the brush would probably be larger than the eye.
Have you ever seen those ones where they carve models out of eggs? Like they do tiny, tiny carving.
Hmm. Yeah. That my mind is always blown away by those.
Sergey says, "Oh, exhausted. I've just finished my diorama." Ooh. So, if you've just
Ooh.
finished the diorama, how many weeks does that mean till the video? 2 weeks? How long do you think yours is from sort of inception of a video idea to completion?
Yeah, it depends because sometimes I've had things just coming together and out in 2 days.
You've thought of a video idea, recorded the
Built,
video, and edited
thought
the
of
video.
thought of something, built the thing, edited the video, and released it. Yeah.
And that's whilst doing a normal job at the same time. That's incredible.
I mean, I do have days off.
Oh, so it's basically your whole weekend to do it. Okay, that makes me
Yeah,
feel better.
pretty much. Yeah. But other things, I mean, I try to get the editing done as quickly as possible. Like, I rarely spend more than 4 hours, I think, editing something. I think that for the tops, I mean, like, usually it's much less than that because what happens to me is that if I leave the videos lying there, I don't particularly enjoy editing.
Yeah.
So what happens is if I put it off too long, it's like, sorry, I'll do something else.
Have you ever considered hiring, like just paying on like Fiverr someone to edit a video, or do you have a particular way that you like your videos done so you wouldn't be comfortable with that?
Haven't really considered it, but I do when I even if I don't particularly enjoy editing, I do enjoy the finished thing. So
I don't
won't
particularly
I won't
enjoy
put a,
painting, but I enjoy the finished painted model. Sadly, you have to do some of the work.
yeah, it's like I want to I want the video to be exactly the way I like it in the end. So I don't think I would be a very pleasant person to work with.
I had,
Uh,
for the first time, music in my video. I don't know if you noticed in the last video. Finally
yeah,
had
yeah.
music. And how do you get your music? Do you like look it up or anything like that? Because I spent hours, just hours listening to the YouTube free music library.
Yeah, there are really some really good pieces in there.
There are, but you've got to find them all. And then I
Oh yeah.
found one of the clips that Squid Bar always uses, and I was like, I know this piece. I mean, Sergey, if you want, you're more than welcome to jump into the Discord for a quick chat before you go to bed. Well, I appreciate it's well, I suppose it's 10 o'clock for yourself as well, Carl. It's I assume around about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes to 10 here.
Ouch.
I don't mind. It's always fun talking to you.
Oh, but I don't think we'll be able to convince Sergey to pop in. So could we have a sneak peek of what your next one is? I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Yeah, I'll have to hang on to that till I figure it out because I have no idea.
Wow, fair enough.
It will have an LED. It will have an LED in it.
Oh, because of course it's for your challenge.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to jump in, I'm running it with Mike from Net One Videos again. So yeah, I mean, just drop into Discord or whatever, and
I have an unreleased footage from a video I was going to do as a collaboration. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I painted him yonks ago. So I suppose I could stick him on a base, but he's already done. I could make a little diorama though. I guess that would kind of count. You didn't say you had to do the miniature from scratch.
say again.
You didn't say I needed to do the whole model from scratch, did you? I could just do a wall next to him and do his lightsaber glowing on the wall, and that would count, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're basically the rules we set up were like, yeah, I mean, if you've already done it, yeah, and it fits.
Although I don't know if I've forgiven you yet for not saying I was the winner with my scratch bout pistachio shelled. Oh God, what are they called? What are the wibbly guys for the?
Damn, yeah, the Gene Stealer thing, the Trinity thingies.
Yeah, the Forge World ones that are like £60, and I made them out pistachio shells for your challenge. Oh, what are they called?
But then you didn't post it,
I
dude.
did post it, but just not.
Yeah,
I didn't paint them.
No, because we had Discord for that, and then we're in a stream with them, and dude, I didn't pick them up because
I hadn't
they were
posted
into
a
the
more recent one.
yeah.
Ah, pants. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You're forgiven for the crime you didn't commit.
But yeah, if you want to post them up, I think we can acknowledge that you would have won that one.
Nah, not all. Oh, Sergey's off to bed. That's fair. In my bed playing Pokemon. Have you ever got into Pokemon? Is that something that you've ever done? Or are you not a video game player?
Say again, sorry.
Have you got into Pokemon? Were you affected by that craze when I don't know about you, but I even got affected getting the Pokemon Go and walking around trying to catch Pokemon?
No. I played a bit of Pokemon, the card game in the 90s. The Pokemon, the early Pokemon videos, the the Game Boy ones, but definitely not Pokemon Go. I mean, I do enjoy a bit of wandering around strange places, but I don't need I don't need Pokemon to make me do it.
Do you know it was really funny? It was there was something very cool about it because they were all attached to like things, and I was up in Carlisle at the time, and I found like ruins for buildings I had no idea was there, and if it hadn't been Pokemon Go sending me out into the big bad scary world, I would have never found them. So fair play. Is it still on? I have no idea. Is it still running?
I think it might be. I think it might be. It's just not as prolific as it was.
Oh, right, okay, that's cool. I'm glad it's going for, because I know in other countries it was even more popular than it was here. I think here it was one of those ones, like burns twice as bright, goes twice as quick,
Oh yeah, I mean after about a couple of months you wouldn't hear about it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a bit of a shame.
It did get people moving, which was good.
Let's see how Kevin and Rob, have you managed to get any more of your hobbying done? We've had a couple more people join as well. Just in case anyone watching doesn't know, you can actually join in if you want to. The Discord is open.
Do it. Do it.
I was warned that it was dangerous. If anyone's watching on the Twitch as well, because I don't know if do you do your streaming to Twitch as well?
No.
Oh, I'll send a link. I assume you, of course, you use OBS. You're the man who taught me how to use OBS. So clearly, you know how to use OBS. But I found a plugin that you can use so you can stream to both at the same time. So if
I mean,
not interested, fair enough.
not particularly. I mean, like one platform is already a lot to handle.
Oh, my sort of plan was if I can sort of stream for both. I don't know how YouTube's going to sort of treat sort of live streaming in future, so I thought I'll get this in for a while and then maybe see if I can't do a bit of Twitch as well. So I thought I might as well just stream to both. Oh, did you see?
I mean, you're young, you can do that.
I'm not sure age has anything to do with clicking a button. Did you see Kev's brand new storage system in the Discord? That's cool.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, and I like the setup with the little... Oh, do you know what? That's a great idea. He's got the little display monitor just mounted in the corner. I've got an old Amazon Kindle, the Fire one. And it's one of those ones where, you know, the battery gets absolutely shot, so it has to be plugged in all the time. That's a great idea. Yeah. I could just have like that up on the wall and then just have whatever I'm watching on there. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I like the whole setup though. It's very efficient.
I bought there's a sort of a charity shop near us where people donate their furniture and then you buy the furniture and all that money goes to charity. So it's quite a cool little thing. People get rid of their furniture, you get cheap furniture, charity gets money. But I walked in there the other day and they had a Calyx unit, a little 2x2 one. Claire wanted that for the baby's room for the for their books, but they also had two things. I don't know why I bought them. There's absolutely no reason to buy them. Let me see if I can't put a picture in the Discord. And I don't know about you, but anytime I see something, I'm like, can I use this in my hobby room? Because you've got a hobby room, don't you? I seem to remember feeling envy when I saw it.
It's more like my apartment, to be honest, because I've got stuff everywhere.
I've got a hobby apartment. Oh, so you've got two houses. You do all your hobbying in one house and all the rest of the hobbying in another house.
It's more like saying that I've got a hobby room with a bathroom, kitchen, and bedroom in it.
Do you know what? One of my friends, Neil, he's got a friend who is a hedge fund manager, so real money, and he has a flat that he keeps all of his games in because his wife gets annoyed when he brings games back to their house, so he just has another flat that he stores all these games in. There's no bed, there's like a microwave and stuff, and then just tons of like Kickstarter games.
It's like you know in some movies where you've got the guy who's a hitman and he's keeping it secret from his family, and then he's got this whole I don't know container full of guns and stolen passports and stuff, fake passports and stuff.
Exactly.
Same thing, but with games. That sounds like the life.
His wife's just hitting him like, why can't you have a mistress in your flat like a normal person? Why is it games?
Okay, does he have a butler called Alfred?
I don't know if he is, but I don't know the guy personally. I only know Neil, who tells me about this guy, and I'm like, that is insane.
Yeah, but he totally should. I mean, because he would be like, Alfred, to the game cave.
No. I mean, the guy's nickname is the Beast, so to be fair. Yeah, my friend Neil at the time when he was telling me about this guy was the director of an accountancy firm, and he was talking like the other guy was rich, and I'm like, like if you think he's rich. Kevin says he's just built his racks. Oh yeah, sorry, I just read that one. I have very limited room as I collect video games, and they take up most of the room, so the desk was the biggest I could buy, so I had to get creative with the space. Ooh, Kev, do you want to? Are you brave enough to share your collection, or are you worried that might make you a target for being robbed? If so, fair. Carl, I don't know if you saw, I posted the pictures in the chat. So this is what I mean by do you ever buy any weird things for your hobby room with just on impulse go, that looks like it could work?
Yeah, I used to, not so much anymore because I have to be really careful with space now.
Yeah. I was hoping that maybe...
Yeah, but for example, I could totally use those trays. For example, if I saw those trays anywhere, I would definitely buy them.
Like the white stand, I have no idea what I'm going to use that for, but I figured I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, but it was just, it looked useful. And then the stacker boxes,
Yeah.
Oh, Kev says it says put magnets in them. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Have you done any videos on carrying cases?
Not really, no.
See, now I think you.
I don't think I've ever owned a carrying case.
But
I should probably change that.
Do you play any miniature games or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do carry, but let's see. I mostly play at home right now. So last time I had to carry an army around, it was in a loosely packed shoebox.
Oh,
it works.
No.
It works.
You can, at the bare minimum, get yourself like a makeup case. They're so cheap, or like a toolbox, surely.
Yeah, but I mean, this was more than a few years ago. So.
So one of the four things in the video is this. It's like a makeup carry case, and I've just magnetized it, and that was £10.
Oh, nice.
So that one's pretty cheap. But I wanted to really stretch it, and I wanted to see how cheap could you make it. Like if it was like if I was talking to my my past self, what could I do? So let's see, how's best going to be if I hold this up? Can you see that?
I can see a plant.
A plant. Oh, I must not. It might not have caught up yet.
Oh, okay. I can see a corner of it on the. Oh, okay, okay.
So,
all right. Yeah.
The handle is made of braided cling film because I was like, well, everyone's got cling film, and it's a sturdy box. And then inside, what it is the cardboard. I appreciate that as I'm talking, this won't be quite in sync, but you'll see what it is the edges are stapled in cardboard, and then the trays are double-sided sticky tape, so you could slot in your miniatures and like pull out your miniatures. And because it's several different layers, say you've got a knight, no problem, just remove the bottom layer, boom, you've now got enough room for a knight.
Yeah, gotcha. Nice. It's really good. If you put in a piece of the foil you get around chewing gum, MacGyver would be proud of that.
Not quite, no. Although this bit, the handle I'm particularly proud of, because what it is this is the solid bit of the cling film at the top with an extra bit of cardboard for support, and it actually can hold a heck of a lot of weight. I reckon the actual box would fall apart before the rest of it. But the cool thing is because it's so lightweight, I think I might actually genuinely make a couple more of these for storage of miniatures upstairs, because no dust can get in, and it's really easy to build. It only took me like 30 minutes to build, and you can store hundreds of models. And I was like, you know what? Of all four, apart from the IKEA one, I would say this is the one I'm most proud of. I think it's a really, really good piece, and I think if
it's something that anyone can build.
Exactly, but I think anyone that's even slightly competent would make it way better than I would.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to carry stuff. It's not meant to win a beauty contest or anything.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think if someone like took more time, because I can't cut in a straight line with a ruler, I'm that bad at it. Oh, welcome back, Rob. Oh, I don't know why, Kev. When you said that you collected games, I just read it as video games. So do you are you into board games as well, Carl?
Yeah, not as much as tabletop games, but yeah, I do have. Let's see, the Conan Kickstarter, the Ram and Bones Kickstarter, which I really love.
There's a
Let's
lot of
see what
miniatures
else.
in both of those games. Are they all painted
Yeah,
or?
yeah, none of them are painted. No,
Okay.
wait, I did get started on the Conan box set.
Mm.
Started doing the undead. Uh, but again, I mean, like I paint those, and I think I've used them more in Dungeons and Dragons than I have in Conan.
I couldn't get the what are they called, the black ones. They were Kickstarter exclusive and you had to buy them, so they just went for like hundreds of pounds at a time. So I went in a huff and I gave it to my little brother, and he basically uses that for his D&D, and he's like, I never need to buy anything because of all your models. So
Ooh,
do you stream your D&D anywhere, or is that just games with friends?
Kevin, that's amazing. Just games with friends so far. I mean, we're playing online now because we're not in the same area, so it might happen sometime, might not, but most we're just goofing around.
Oh geez, Kev, like they hadn't come
That,
through.
that's
The pictures hadn't come
that's
through. Oh my goodness.
that's a thing of beauty.
That's amazing. For anyone that's not in the Discord, just so you know, it's amazing. Like it's an entertainment system with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm not sure if they're all games consoles, but they look like they are. That's incredible. That is wow. I have an old dusty PS3 under the TV and an old dusty PS4.
Yeah, I've just got a dusty Xbox.
Oh my goodness.
I forget which one it was, but it's the one from uh,
Is it
just
black?
after. No. It's I think under the dust it's cream colored or something like that. It's very old. I think it's from 2005 or 2006.
Oh, my monitor for it that blew up last week was from 2010. I hate having to buy new things because then you've got to read the reviews and agonize. Oh, do I want this? Do I want this? What is it I want? Hate that. Just give me the good old fashioned uh, old thing, and as long as it works, I'm fine with it. I have a TV
Yep.
that I bought from eBay as spares and repairs because I read the description and it said, "Oh, still works. It just has a grey line down it when it's a black screen." And I was like, "Well, how often does it have a black screen?" So I went there. They wanted £50. I haggled down to £30, and I think at the time, if you were to buy this TV new and working, it would have been like £500. Like it was quite expensive TV for the time, and it's still working today, 8, 9
Nice.
years later, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like the grey screen, you literally only see it when it's pitch black. And how often is your TV ever pitch black? You know,
Yeah.
we
Just
can
that one
live.
time on Game of Thrones, but yeah.
We can live in the shadows of the rich. if if you had no gaming budget, what do you think you would buy? Would you buy like a full size to scale Space Marine armor? Like what's the dumb thing you would buy?
Uh, I don't think I would buy full-scale Space Marine armor, but I would probably have my card done up to look like a rhino.
At that point, can you not just buy a real tank?
Eh, ye- that's a good question. Yeah, I
The-
could buy a real tank and have it done up like a rhino.
Obviously, with everything going on, it's obviously very serious over in Ukraine. But I remember the Ukrainian government announced that any Russian tanks seized wouldn't need to be reported for tax purposes. So that's funny. There was an old boy in England when he died. They went into his like garage that was like sunken into the ground, and they found a tank. You'd need to look it up. I can't remember if it was a German tank or if it was a British tank. I'm not entirely certain how you would have got a German tank there. But yeah, He was just found after dying to have a tank in his basement.
Yeah, if I had a tank, there's no way I would not be driving it around.
I mean,
Yeah, and if people
farmers.
say again?
I was going to say farmers take their tractors to work, so who says you can't have your tank to work?
Yeah, I mean, and if anyone complains about like I'm damaging the road surface or anything, you can just silence poor people. I have a tank.
I would probably still go for the. I think if I could have it, I would like. I don't know if there's an where you live. Do you have any like big gaming clubs that are also shops?
I do not think we have any gaming clubs that are also shops.
See, we've got Element Games, which has this massive gaming hall, and it's like got all along the walls is just terrain and then huge tables. I think that's what I'd want. I'd want like a personal gaming hall.
Nice.
But we can F's and buts or candies nuts. One thing that makes me laugh about the video games is you notice that, or maybe it's just from the video I'm seeing this, but it looks like a triangle. Because if you look at my video game collection, there's loads of PS2 games, and then there's less PS3, then less PS4, and I don't have any PS5 games. And I swear it's like a triangle. Is that because games are getting more expensive, or consoles are having less runs, or because we have less time? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be more than one factor.
So let's see, what games do we have in his collection? Small World, excellent choice. I was playing that at the weekend. Such a good game. Imperial Assault, yes, of course, you're the man who has 2 of everything. What else have we got? Can you recognise any of them? This Lord of the Rings Journey. That's the one I painted on stream. I don't know how many other. Carcassonne? I think Carcassonne's on the bottom row there.
No idea.
I swear that's the same Vallejo texture paint that I was just showing on stream. On his in his calyx on the 3rd row. That's hilarious. That's a good collection though.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you a Kickstarter addict, or do you tend to get your stuff from like a brick and mortar store? Where do you get your gear?
I really like Kickstarter. I'm trying to stay away from it for the time being. I mean, I think I bought enough stuff in the last 3 years to last me for another 10.
What was your most recent crime?
I'm pretty sure it was the Solomon King Kickstarter.
Oh, Solomon Kane, I didn't see it. Oh, sorry, I did see it. Was that... I swear that was a while ago, was it not?
Yeah, I think it was definitely pre-pandemic.
And that's only just arrived, or that was the last one?
The last wave from it came through. I forgot if it was last spring or sometime before that, because they had some delays on that. But yeah, they definitely follow through.
That's good then.
I mean, the miniatures are fantastic.
Have they got a Witcher? I can't remember. Oh no, it was Elden Ring. That's the next one that is Steam Forge's next one. Who was it that did the Solomon Kane one? Was it Steam Forge by any chance?
I don't think so. Let me check 1 second.
Kev says the middle one is all video games, and the top photo is all the systems hooked up to a TV. Yeah, it's a thing of beauty. One's a PC and there's a bunch of consoles on the top wall. Don't get as much time to play them now, but it gives me hope and great joy to look at them. I hope my Oliver wants to play with them when he grows up. If you'd said my Oliver, that would have been very confusing.
It was Mythic Games.
Which game, sorry?
Solomon Kane by Mythic Games.
Oh, Mythic Games. Oh,
Mythic, yeah.
That's it. They've had just a terrible run of luck with their games, haven't they? Because they sold Mythic Pantheon to Monolith. So even though they found themselves a beautiful game, they used the money from that to then get the IP to the Joan of Arc, which did really well, but then they hadn't got an airtight contract with the guy who basically leased the idea to them, so he then revoked the license so they couldn't do their second wave of stuff.
Oh
Then
man.
they did Darkest Dungeon, which is like a video game that they converted into a board game, and
Mhm.
then there was loads and loads of, because of all the other problems, their funds started running out, so they really struggled to fulfill it. So they had just a horrible run of luck with games.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're at the point where they're good game designers, but they need better lawyers.
Yeah. The thing is any of the games they put out sell really well, but they've just had terrible luck, I think. Have you ever been burned on Kickstarter? Any bit you?
Not really, no. I mean, I don't just buy random stuff, so I do do a little bit of fact finding before I get anything.
There was one that really disappointed me that didn't end up coming out. It was one where it was set in the Middle East, and so it had all these monsters that were going to be, that you just don't hear about in like sort of the Western culture.
Okay.
And I was really excited, but then it ended up being a scam. They'd made the 3D renders or stolen the 3D renders of these pictures, and then they had copied and pasted like their shipping terms and conditions from a different Kickstarter, and they just did loads of stuff where it was just so shady and underhanded, and it was really disappointing because the game looked actually really fun.
Kevin is saying, being burned by Super Dungeon Explore Legends.
Yes. Ninja Pop went through so much shenanigans. I don't know if there was theft involved, but yeah, that was frustrating. Do you know what though? I don't want to make light of yours because absolutely that really sucks. I had backed it all in, and then a friend of mine decided to buy it. So then I was like, well, there's no point in us both having it. So I backed out of it because I was like, oh, do you want to back out because I've already got one? And he was like, no, I'd rather have it. And I was like, okay, that's fine. There's no point in us both ordering it. Got a refund, but do you know what's even crazier? Because of the exchange rates, what I'd bought it at and then the pound had got stronger, ironically, against the dollar meant that when I got my refund, I made like £50 on the game. I was like, what? That was an odd one to happen. I wouldn't recommend trying to do that. Although then again, I've had the opposite now where I wanted the expansion to Alice in Wonderland, War in Wonderland it's called, and I wanted the expansion to that. And when I went to buy
sounds
it,
really weird, yeah.
Oh, it is really good. So basically, you fight in Wonderland. So there's the 6 different areas from the movies and the books, and you run around the table, kicking tea off the table. And depending on which teacup you kick over, you get tokens, and those are your warriors that go in a bag. And you also send supporters to the different locations. You then fight in each location that has supporters by drawing from your bag, and each of those tokens that you collected while running around the center table are your warriors. So if you use them all up in the first battle, then you can't fight in the second battle. So it's this really cool mechanic of you got to plan in advance. It's a good game.
Yeah, it sounds like it was designed by someone on Absinthe, but yeah, I do love the sound of that.
I mean, Lewis Carroll must have been on something when he first wrote the book, eh?
Oh yeah.
Actually rewatched the original Disney for the first time in a long time recently because it's now on Disney Plus. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think I watched it for the first time I watched it. I was around 2 or 3. I was very impressed. But yeah, it's the thing is with those really old Disney movies is that they are good. I mean, you can rewatch them after several years and they're still good.
Yes. I think that's the thing about animation, though, isn't it? Like, animation doesn't go out of style. I don't know if that's the right, but it doesn't look dated like Borderlands as a video game because of its distinctive art style. It doesn't look dated. Whereas if you try and do a realistic thing, that can look dated. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, if you try to go for realistic, then you're always going to be limited by the technology of your time.
exactly. And I suppose that could probably be said to be about our like painting and the miniature sculpts as well, to a certain extent. Because when I look at the old paint jobs in like old manuals and stuff like that, you look at it and it looks like these are heavy metal painters, but because they had like lead based paints, they couldn't do what they could do now. I mean, the best painters that have ever lived are now versus in miniature painting. Certainly, I don't know if I could say the best painters ever, but in miniature painting, the best miniature painters are alive today versus like the old, just because of technology and stuff.
Yeah, but there are some things like, for example, I think we were talking about non-metallic metal earlier and stuff. That's been around for around for longer than miniature gaming.
Yeah, exactly. True,
So,
true.
so I think what's happened is that people have had more. Sorry, there are more people spending more time experimenting on stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But it really amazes me when you go in. Whenever I go around to old houses in the UK, I take photos of all the non-metallic metals because the oil painters are just masters of it. Like it just looks like metal.
Yeah, I mean that's what they had to do if they wanted to show metal, so they had to figure a way out.
I got burned by this though. Can you see? Can you see on the stream the picture of
Moonstone?
the Yes. So
Yeah,
what color?
it's flipped around, yeah, but it's visible.
Yeah. What color do you think these dice are?
They look white or blue and white or semi-transparent. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So what color do you think in the box the dice are colored?
I'm going to go with green.
You're more right than I was, because I thought they would be the color of the stuff on the box, not the color. Like what? Yeah, that was a surprise.
What color were they?
Green. Yeah, you're right. They're like a bluey green. But I
Oh,
thought
right.
they were going to be the color of the dice in the picture. But I can't really say that I was conned or anything like that, because obviously I could have just turned the pack over, but I didn't even turn the pack over. I went, they're cool, and just bought them. Kev says, what are your guys' opinions on the new skirmish game announced earlier, Star Wars Shatterpoint? Do you think it has a place in between Imperial Sword and Legion? Oh, have you watched this? I haven't seen anything about it.
Well, looking, I haven't played either of those games, so I have no idea. But going by your shelf, no, I don't think there's any space in there for that in between those two.
Oh, yeah, Kev with his double collection. Oh, it's by Atomic Mass Games. So they did Marvel Crisis Protocol, and I think they've taken on a whole bunch of the other games like X-Wing and the Star Wars one where you have the big ships. What's it called? The Star Wars one with the big ships. Armada. Star Wars Armada. I think they've taken all those on as well. So they must have Asmodee originally did it, and now they're doing that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'd like to pick up some naval games. And that's one thing. I mean, like, I don't mind if it's sci-fi or historical. So, you got any recommendations?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Warlords Black Powder is amazing. It's an absolute great game. Do you have Tabletop Simulator?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the mod for that is amazing. Like there must be some avid fans of the game on there, because they've made it so you tick boxes to design your ship, and then it makes a highly detailed 3D render of that ship appear on the battlefield.
Ooh.
So you tick,
All
I
right.
want the French, I want it to have extra guns, I want it to be a frigate, or I want it to be a first rate. And you do all the ticks, and then you click accept, and it appears. Like if you choose it to have a pirate flag, it will have a pirate flag. If you choose it to have extra rigging,
Nice.
it'll have extra rigging. It's incredible. When you push the button for flames, it goes on fire a little bit. You click it again, it goes on fire. Then it goes on real fire, and then it sinks. When you click shoot, it shoots its first row guns, second row guns, third row guns, like down the side of the ship.
Ooh.
It's incredible. But that's a really good game, and I don't mean video game, although that tabletop simulator thing is incredible.
Oh yeah.
But if you want a fantasy version based on that game system Mantic did, Mantic armada, and it,
Okay.
excuse me, is orcs, elves, dwarves. So it's the same game but with fantasy elements, and it's absolutely one of my favorite games.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you had done some ships for that, yeah?
I did. I have painted 3 fleets for it. Out of my 6 fleets that I own, out of the 9 fleets that exist. So I'm 3 behind, but I just don't have the money at the moment to buy them. So once I finish the other 3, then I'll pick them up. Because there's the elves have come out now. The salamanders or lizard folk, they've come out, and there's one more that's come out that I don't have. Oh, the Norse. There's a Norse faction
Okay.
as well, Vanguard. But no, that's a great game. If you ever fancy a game of Tabletop Simulator, just let me know, and I'll happily teach you the rules to either. They're both absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we should do that. Definitely should do that.
So, having a skim read of the Star Wars Shatterpoint, and Kev, please do feel free to jump back in the chat and join us again if you like. You can tell us all about it, but by the look of it, it looks like it's more your characters are. I don't know if there's equivalent. It's like More Time, but with Star Wars. So you know how in More Time you could level up your characters and they got
Yeah.
stories and injuries. It kind of sounds like that.
Oh,
Sounds pretty fun. I like when you get to spend a lot of time on a single character, so I'd be down for that.
oh yeah, for sure. And especially when they start to accumulate experience and injuries and stuff, they really start to develop a bit of character.
Did you ever play the Inquisitor 54 scale?
I have not, no.
No. So it was. Have you heard about it?
Oh yeah, it was definitely one of the things that I wanted to buy at the time, but I did not have money for.
Yeah. We had a couple, but now I think about like because they encouraged you to like chop up the model and like convert the models, so it was like your characters would change over time because you had so few models. It was really emphasized to do that, and now I think about how much money those models are worth.
Yep.
You're like, no, but that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I definitely like converting more time miniatures because more time and Necromunda miniatures. Both of those games are really good at that.
If you really enjoy that, you should look into because basically the fans made it so instead of Inquisitor 54, it was Inquisitor 28. So basically, you would make all these characters again, but in 28mm scale.
Yeah, it's I've heard about it. It's still one of my things to look at list, but it is a very long list.
What is your favorite game? Would you say?
I would say the one I've played most, the one I enjoy playing most is More Time.
All right, so still More Time. That's fantastic.
Followed by Warhammer Fantasy Battles, not Age of Sigmar.
Are you throwing a little bit of shade at Age of Sigmar flares?
No, I'm just throwing buckets of shade at Games Workshop for what they did to the old world.
I agree.
That was evil.
The End Times was a really cool idea. So I don't necessarily mind the fact that they came out with it, but then I swear they cut it short. It felt very rushed. Because it was like, oh, we're getting we're getting a Nagash model that doesn't look like he's insane. Well, it looks insane, but it doesn't look terrible. We're getting Gracia Thankall and a giant thing. We're getting Kane. And then they brought out these models and they were like, done. And then that was it. It was just maybe I'm misremembering it, but it felt like everything happened in a single year. Was it that fast or was it slower than that?
It was very fast. The thing is that I'm not so much. The End Times was good even in terms of story and everything. But what happened was you've got people who had been collecting for longer than I have.
Yeah.
And they're like, nope, 3/4 of your collection is now invalid, and you have to rebase them.
I know. Yeah, I wish I hadn't sold off a bunch of mine, but so many of my friends were like, well, there's no tournament scenes or anything like that, so what's the point? There's no point playing it. I'm like, you don't play tournaments in the first place. There you go. Sadly, you've got to play with what your hobby group plays with, and if they don't play it, Well,
Yeah, I guess. So one game that I really enjoyed, but I only got to play one game of it so far, is Turnip 28.
what was it called? Sorry,
Turnip 28,
like as in the vegetable turnip.
as in the root vegetable. Yeah.
What's that about?
Okay, so basically, it's set in this alternate universe, Earth, except that at some time during or before the Napoleonic period,
Mm-hmm.
this strange thing started happening, and everyone started turning into root vegetables.
No.
If I remember the lore correctly, I might be getting that wrong. So basically, it's a small scale war game, so you're not going to have hordes of troops, but you've basically got your Toff, if I remember correctly, who's your general,
Mm-hmm.
or was it a Nob? No, I think it was a Nob and two Toffs, who are his lieutenants, and then you got the Grants, basically everyone else, the rebel. I mean, the artwork on the rules is fantastic. I mean, you know that sometimes in even in Games Workshop games, you've got that character explaining the rules of the game or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, in Turnip 28, that character is a bowl full of fingers.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and the units have all these fantastically named special rules. For example, if you look at the Heavy Cavalry, their special rule is pants shooting charge. Yeah.
That's incredible. And have you played the game? Is it good, or is this one you want to play?
No, I have only played one game of it, but it was also fun.
So is it a dice mechanic?
Yeah, but it's based on incompetence rather than competence.
That does sound good.
So yeah, so it's absolutely hilarious.
I, in a way, it reminds me of there's like a silly game. It's a really bad sort of simulator called um, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. Have you played
Yeah, I
that game?
remember that one. The one where you can throw, I don't know, a T-Rex against, sorry,
Yes.
100 T-Rexes against Chuck Norris or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly it. And they're all like Play-Doh-y people, and they like follow each other, and they got terrible animations. Yes, love that game.
I I haven't played that, but I spent too many hours watching videos of that.
Oh yeah,
It's
oh
just
so
too
good.
funny.
Oh. But what do you think? Like, do you play the Total War games or anything like that?
Some of the older ones, I haven't played any of them since Warhammer Total War.
But you have played some of them then. What do
Oh
you
yeah, yeah.
think it is? Like, at what point do we draw the line between wanting to play Total War and wanting to play like our miniature games? Like, where is that line between it? When does it become more appealing to play Total War than actually playing it as a miniature game? Or is the answer never for you?
Mm, no, I think they scratch different itches. Let's put it that way. One of the reasons I like playing tabletop games is I get around to play with my friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're going to be here for 4 to 8 hours. We're going to have a drink, toss a few dice now and again if we remember to.
I've definitely had it when I go up to see my friends in Carlisle, and we've all finally got around. But the problem is because there's such big gaps between when I get to go up. A lot of the time we just end up sitting there and chatting, and eventually you're like, right, no, we've got to play something. I didn't drive for 3.5 hours just to sit and chat. Like, we must play a game. And they're like, oh, if we have to.
Yeah. On the other hand, I mean, like Total War is for when you've got an hour or two of quiet and you just want to fill the time.
True. I think it also has something to do with scale. Like, with the, do you remember Ratmen in the old world in Warhammer Fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you would have like 1,000. Well, you wouldn't have 1,000. That would be impractical. But you would easily have 200 slaves, Skaven slaves.
Yeah.
Any bigger than that, and at that point it starts to be like, this is a lot to move around, and that I think that's where the beauty of video games came in for like scalability. Because with Total War, you can have so many models, like you can just
Oh
have
yeah,
them.
for sure.
So I think maybe that's where part of the appeal must come from.
Plus, it's fun to watch them move around and do stuff and things like that.
Yeah. So you haven't played any of the Warhammer Total Wars then?
The first one.
Oh, you played the first one. Oh, fantastic! Did it scratch the itch and
Oh yeah,
make you miss
yeah,
the old world less?
quite enjoyed it.
I've played the second one, but I haven't played the third one yet with Mighty Empires because I just know that if I open it up, that's it. I'm not going to do any miniature hobbying, and then that's my big thing is I feel like guilt whenever I haven't done any of the hobbying. I'm like, oh, why did I not do any hobbying after a night?
Yeah, I don't think I get that anymore because I do my hobbying specifically to to relax and get rid of stress. So I'm very conscious about not making it a source of stress.
Right. That's a good way of thinking about it. I wish I had your healthy attitude to it. I just think about my huge amounts of models that I need to get painted, and it just stresses me out. I appreciate because there was that movement, wasn't there, to stop calling it a pile of shame, and what was the new thing we were supposed to call it? It wasn't a
Pile of
shame,
opportunity.
a pile of opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem calling it a pile of shame. It's just that I feel no particular shame about it.
I mean, that's good. That's good. It shouldn't. Your hobby shouldn't make you feel bad. Yeah, that's why my slogan is "Battle the Backlog," which my friend who's a plumber always laughs his head off at. He's like, oh, have you got a bit of a backlog, buddy? Shut your face. I mean, I don't know in English the word log is also a measurement of poo. So
Yeah, no, I'm not calling it a backlog. Because backlog sounds like something you have to do, and it's like, I don't have to do it. They can sit there and paint it for years if they have to.
And did it used to stress you, or have you always been of that opinion? Because you're remarkably calm about it. You're like, yeah, no, this is absolutely fine.
Yeah, let me think. Yeah, pretty much always calm about it. There were a couple of times where I had a few people saying, you showed up with the grey miniatures again, blah blah blah. But mostly most of the people I played with either didn't care. Let's put it this way: our terrain was bottles of beer and boxes of snacks, so it's not like I was ruining anyone's cinematic experience.
It does make me sad though when people don't they'll put a lot of effort into their miniatures and then not put any effort into their terrain. Like, I appreciate that it's extra, but like if several of you bandy together, you can easily get an entire tabletop done in a single day. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
I wish people did spend more on the terrain, like, because I don't like it when you turn up to a place for a tournament and the terrain is not great. Like, I'm like, this is meant to be like an epic day. I'm finally getting to play a game. I'm finally getting to play against people that know what the heck they're doing. And then you have like unpainted MDF terrain. And I'm not knocking MDF terrain, but it's not as good as like painted terrain, is it?
No, MDF terrain can be done up really nicely. I mean, have you ever watched the Earthman Bricks channel?
I haven't. Earthman Bricks out. Does he ever post in the Discord?
Yeah. Earthman Brick. So he does quite a lot of MDF terrain, but he does it up really nicely. So he adds stuff to it and greeble and paints and so on. There are quite a few cases you would not tell it's MDF just by looking at it.
Earthman Brick.
Yep.
Sounds like a horrible condition. He was Earth, then he was a man, then he was a brick. Right, filters, type, channel, apply. I'm not. Is it all one word or?
Yeah, I saw one word. I think his latest video was this orc. I don't know what do you call it, a gargant or a.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
cool. Oh
that
well,
thing is
there you
enormous.
go. He's got a new subscriber today. You're supposed to be plugging your own channel, not someone else's.
I like to plug channels. I watch a lot of YouTube, so I like to encourage people to make more videos.
Do you know what? It always makes me sad when you. So I've just subscribed to him, and then another video's come up, and it's how to build the biggest orc war boss ever, prime orc conversion. And I've just clicked on it, and the guy doesn't make any videos anymore. That always makes me sad.
What is the prime work? Is that scratch built, scratch bashing, or forgot the channel name?
Yeah, they made a scratch.
Yeah, that he. I know he was building a Titan or something, and that's the last thing I saw from him. He did make some great videos.
It's so often you see it as well. There's a channel that I still watch. I'll like go back and rewatch some of their videos about painting, but they haven't posted in years, and you're like, you didn't even say goodbye. Like, but I do wonder, like, because there's got to be a couple of channels where they have videos like that, and years later they've now got like way more subscribers than when they left, and you're like, did you know?
Yeah.
Did they know? Are they alive? People are now watching this. It's like you know when painters become famous after they die, like they never know how popular they are, and I'm like, do these people know that their channels have grown without them?
I don't know.
You've covered the line between a game that's a video game and tabletop game, but how do you guys feel about miniature games now going into games? Obviously, there's stuff like Tabletop Simulator, but have you seen Moonbreaker, a tabletop game that allows you to paint all the miniatures in a game? Have you seen this, Moonbreaker?
Never heard of it. It sounds like an interesting idea. I like both video games and tabletop games, but if I was going to spend the time to paint a miniature, I would prefer to have a physical miniature.
Well, that's the funny thing about it. I don't know if I suggest this or someone like that I was watching a review of suggested it, and I've just in my head got confused and think it's real. But I seem to remember that maybe you'll actually be able to buy the miniatures because you know how Hero Forge can print painted models. Maybe they'll be able to do it. I'm not sure, but yes, I did see this. It's worth a watch. It's pretty funny, because it's a miniatures game but a video game. So yeah, like Tabletop Simulator.
I think that's the direction that Wizards of the Coast are going with 1D&D. So I'm not sure if we're going to see a lot more of that in the near future.
Is that on their service 1D&D? Did you say sorry?
Yeah.
Just with D&D in general. All right, cool.
I think they're one and the same thing at this point.
All right, okay.
Going forward.
We have occasionally got right into Critical Role, and I think they talked about it a bit. I don't think they used it though.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there will always be a place for miniatures and tabletop terrain and stuff like that. I mean, if you guys ever want to get rid of your miniatures and stuff, and you want to give them a good home, my address is.
Do you have a PO box?
No, but if I was suitably incentivized to get one, yeah, I might. Now, but joking apart, I don't sell my miniatures. I don't think I'd ever give them away except in a few rare cases.
I was gonna say you've given away models
but
a couple of times. I've entered several competitions of yours to try and get one.
Yeah, but that's just stuff I make myself. It's I don't have the same attachment with to compared to something that I've played with for several years and so on. Because the thing is, if I'm making something, usually it's just my motivation for doing that is making it. So once it's done, I'm done with it. I'm ready. I've
No,
got my entertainment out of it.
no. To me, it would be the opposite. If I make a model, I want to keep it even closer. Like I've got those silly ones that I made for the paint pot challenge somewhere. And
Uh-huh.
even though they're daft, even though they're not well made, even though they're not well painted, I love them. I am never letting them go.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're happy with them. I mean, you're still getting the value out of them because you're enjoying them because they're there.
Well, especially now they're part of the channel. Like, I think that makes them even more special in a way. Like, they'll go in a little cabinet as a this is something I did in a video. But I know that Sergey went through a recent epiphany with his channel about like the sort of the direction he wants to go in the videos he wants to make. Because before I know he was struggling a little bit with straddling the line between being a creative YouTuber and making whatever he wanted to do, and then also like being a wargaming miniature. So he was trying to straddle the line, and I'm really pleased he's come to a decision about which side of the line he's going to be on, and he's a lot happier for it. Because it's one of those interesting things in our hobby. The biggest channel now is any idea who's got the biggest channel?
No clue.
Squidmar. But the
Really?
interesting thing about Squidmar, yeah, in our particular niche of wargaming, he has the biggest because he's now over or he's about to overtake the Games Workshop one.
Oh, all right.
And the thing about that is he doesn't make controversial, but he doesn't make content for wargamers anymore. His is now more broad appeal, and I would say that's why he's growing so rapidly. Have you ever watched Nerd Forge or North of the Border or Boily Hobby
Both of
Town?
all of them, yes.
All of them. So do you know what I mean? Like those guys don't make videos about Warhammer. They're not making stuff like that. But they touch our niche like a little bit. If that makes sense.
I think it's more than a little bit because look at it this way: crafting is crafting, painting is painting. Whether you're painting a wargaming miniature or a even if or a display piece or whatever, yeah. And yeah, we were saying earlier you wouldn't paint a gaming miniature the level you would a display piece
Mm.
because that makes no sense. But you can still learn stuff.
Yeah, I think what makes the difference is, and one of the things that Sergey's sort of changing about his channel. What the heck happened to the spear? That's a very wonky spear. Is his videos were always really in-depth tutorials. He might make something cool, but it's a really in-depth use this color, then use this color. And I think that's what was holding him back because he was doing really in-depth tutorials, but about miniatures that aren't in the wargaming hemisphere. So he was teaching how to paint, which is something that Nerdforge, the North of the Border, don't do. But he was doing it on miniatures that aren't Space Marines. So that's not something you should do as a wargaming channel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, one thing I can tell you is that if you're doing things you don't want to do, then you will not do them for very long, unless you're raking in a large amount of money, which YouTube is not going to give you.
No, Skillshare pays far more money, but sadly, miniature painting isn't what really Skillshare's designed for. It's mad because from YouTube, 1,000 views will net you $3, whereas on Skillshare, 1,000 minutes will net you a heck of a lot more because they pay via minute viewed rather than watch time. So if you have any skills that you could teach, get over to Skillshare and make a little video. I mean, you could do an OBS how to OBS video easy.
Yeah, I think I leave that to people who actually know what they're doing. I just push buttons.
That's how everybody learns.
Oh yeah, It's how everybody can learn, but quite a lot of people don't do that because they're afraid of doing stuff. Take painting, for example. Anyone can pick up a brush and paint, but like you mentioned, people can be intimidated.
I think it's almost anything in life can be boiled down to what makes you sad is the expectation versus the reality. It's the divergence of those two. If you go into it hoping that you'll be an expert painter from game one, you're going to be disappointed when you suddenly
Oh
realize
yeah,
that
yeah, for
actually
sure,
it takes a lot.
for sure.
And it's I
That's
think it's the same thing. Yeah.
I mean, there are very few skills that you need to be really good at off the get-go. I can only think of skydiving, but yeah, I mean anything else. I mean, failing is part of the learning process.
I think that goes for education as well. Like education and even on the job training teach you nothing until you're actually doing the thing you're actually going to do as a job.
Yeah, I mean, for me at least, it doesn't really stick unless I'm actually doing the thing.
Oh, we've got McGirth in the Discord. Hello.
Hey,
Feel free to jump into the chat if you fancy. It's good to see you. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, the tournament I'm looking to go for, McGirth is the person I'm trying to bully into being my doubles partner. I haven't done a doubles tournament in a long time, not since Warhammer Fantasy. Oh dear. Can you see on the chat? Look at my poor brush. Do you think after 10 years this brush might be about to give up the ghost?
nah, it's got at least another 10 years in it.
It's got a massive crack. People won't know it's a Citadel brush if all the paint flecks off. I wonder how it decides which like emoji to use on Discord, because both mine and yours both use the dog emoji for the hello.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be random, but no idea.
Ooh.
I mean, I got a pigeon earlier.
So it's not something you can set on the channel. I thought maybe this was something you were about to tell me that was going to blow my mind on the Discord channel.
I wouldn't know about it.
It's one of those things, is even like Discord, even just having a Discord, I bet there's so much I should be learning about Discord, but I'm like, this channel, this server, I don't want to expand it. I want a place that people can post their pictures of as we're doing the stream, blatantly stolen from you because I enjoyed that idea so much. But I don't want it because I don't know about you, but how many servers do you think you have down the side?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I visit about 3 of them regularly.
I'm not going to lie, actually. I thought you were going to say way higher than that, to be fair. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. Because what have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I've got 25. So to be honest, I expect you to have that. But I also like at least a couple of these are just like random Discords between me and my friends rather than actual Discords. But you're right. Of the ones I visit regularly, yours I go in quite a lot. I don't go in Sumikitos at all. I don't go in Moonstone. eBay Miniature Rescues, I don't know if he's ever posted in his. Like, if he's posted, he hasn't posted in a long time. Yeah, there you go. Last post 2021. It's weird how like Discord ones just like die. Like, I don't know why that happens.
I don't know. I mean, no idea. Thing is that one thing I like about Discord is it kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah, I think
So,
once you've built up enough people, but yours is an actual community with like events and stuff like that. I know it sounds daft, but I don't want mine to be that because we've all already got enough. I just want a place that people can post pictures and that's it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the thing is that it didn't start out trying to be a community, but what happened was quite a lot of the people I know online were built of the Crazy Crafter community, Crazy Crafter channel. And then Colin, who used to run the channel, had to move on to other stuff because work opened up again and had to go off and do stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to run that anymore. So we needed that place to hang around because that center had disappeared.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I ended up setting up mine. And
And then most of the people migrated across.
I wouldn't say migrated as in because the original Crazy Crafter Discord is still going.
Oh, right, okay.
It's a little less active now, but I think yeah, we still use both.
Yeah, I don't. I signed up to because Sergey's a big component of Reddit, so I signed up for an account and then I looked through it and all the boards have so many rules and they all require you to be an active member and stuff like that, and that's probably a good thing. Don't get me wrong; it's definitely a good thing to have that. But I'm also like, let's face it, all I really want to do is use it as a place to advertise my videos. So
Yeah, the thing is, Reddit is a dangerous place because at least for me, because once as soon as I go in there, I'm like, oh, this looks nice. Oh, this looks nice too. And next thing I know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and
do you know what? That would be another good video. Oh, so many videos I want to see or have other people make because I don't have time to do it. But I would love it if someone would define each of these sort of places and what they're good for. So, for example, Instagram is purely good for posting pictures and getting some likes. It's not necessarily a good place to get like in-depth critical feedback. Whereas I don't know, is Reddit, because you could start a thread about your particular model, is it a better place to get feedback? Or is Discord a better? If you were to summarize each platform in terms of our hobby, so not just in terms of the platform as a whole, but what uses, for example, is Twitter any use for our hobby?
I don't know. I have a Twitter account. I am occasionally reminded because I get email notifications about something, but I haven't used it in years.
So that would suggest maybe not.
It might be, and I might be missing out on the greatest thing ever, but I don't know.
Probably not. I guess maybe that
Facebook.
one's good for announcing events, like if someone used it to announce a tournament event or something.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one, I guess. A good use for it. Facebook depends out on what groups you're in, and I would imagine it's the same thing for Discord. So because I mean, like you get if you're just going to post on your time, then you're just going to get your grandmother or something. Oh, that's nice, sweetie.
But what do you think's better for like long-term storage? So let's say it, so several different people are posting little tutorials on how to do stuff. Which platform would you say that's the best for? So for creating like an archive that people can find that kind of information.
So far, I would say Facebook.
Facebook. Interesting.
Yeah. Because in Reddit it will just get buried. You're never going to find it again.
Well, is it pretty hard to search Reddit?
In my experience, yes. I might be doing everything wrong, but it might be. Now, Instagram has its limitations. One of the things that bugs me most about Instagram is videos don't have a pause button.
Do they not? I've never noticed.
Yeah, I mean,
pause button.
And the thing is, especially if I'm watching it from my no, it's even on desktop. If you tab somewhere else or whatever, then the video restarts.
I'm gonna. I absolutely believe you, but at the same time, I've never noticed. So I'm gonna quickly go on the. Oh, I haven't posted an Instagram in such a long time, but I found the conversion like of people like if you posted up, oh, I've got a new video, it didn't necessarily go anywhere. So
Yeah, the thing with Instagram is that it doesn't let you post links directly.
yeah, that is annoying. Oh my goodness, you're right. I've never noticed when you click on it, it mutes it and unmutes it.
Yeah.
Huh. Because it's just popped up. The Dean Paints thing's just posted a little video where he's got his Star Wars Legion. He's not posted a video in ages. Did you see that he'd broken his collarbone? That's why he hadn't
Oh, yeah.
posted it. And he just, jeez. I also haven't seen Dave's Miniature Menagerie. He moved up to near here, apparently. I think he's in Salford
All right.
now, near here. But he hasn't posted anything in ages, which is a shame because his videos were making me really, really consider buying into Malifaux again. Have you ever played Malifaux?
No, but I have seen the miniatures, and I would probably get the miniatures and not play the game.
Well, the thing about the game is you use a card deck instead. So
Okay.
if you're the kind of person that has bad luck, this guarantees balance in a way. Because if you pull out loads of ones and twos and threes, you know that later on you're going to get
At
a
some
bunch
point
of
it's going to
kings,
come up, yeah.
jacks, and aces. Exactly. So it's you might not necessarily pull them when you need them, but you know that at least it's even. Whereas with dice, one player could roll infinite ones and the other one could roll infinite sixes.
Yeah.
Although I begin to question the validity of their dice at that point.
Yeah, sometimes you have bad days.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
No, I can't really ever complain about my days. There's definitely been times, where when you fail a crucial one and you're like, man, these dice. I remember I was playing in the final of the first ever Dreadball. Oh, it turned out to be the first and only online Dreadball World Cup during lockdown.
Okay.
And I was in the final and I was going for my I was doing the final action of the game, and all I needed to do was roll a single 4, and I rolled 8 dice and didn't get a single 4.
Oh, but it's like that. Okay, don't roll a 1. Boom, 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 1.
Yeah. Oh, I think Dreadball is still one of my favorite games, and one of the moments that always stands out is I had the Hulk, which is similar to what you're imagining when I say Hulk: big, mean, green fighting machine. And a
Okay.
little goblin ran up to him and punched his head clean off.
No way.
Because basically the way the game works is he didn't charge, so he had 5 attack dice, needing 3s to win. The goblin, because he slammed, had 3 dice, so he had a bonus dice, and the goblin needed 5s. But in most Mantic games, they do exploding 6s or exploding 8s, depending on if you're playing a D6
Oh,
or
okay.
D8.
All right.
So the goblin player rolled 3 6s, then rolled a dice, 3 6s, then rolled the dice, 2 6s, then rolled the dice, 1 6, then rolled the dice, 1 6. So I ended up getting 9 dice versus mine, which meant that
Jeez.
my guy was not only on the bench for 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns, dead. So he punched the guy's head clean off. I've got a photo of it somewhere because it was just hilarious. And this was in a league, because of course it was. And yeah, he killed my best player with a goblin.
Yeah, it's the stuff of legends. I mean, it sucks at the moment, but it's a good story to have.
It was too funny. Don't get me wrong. At tournaments and stuff like that, I can be, as arsey as other people, but it was just too funny. Underdog Painting. Hey peeps, hope you all is well. Hello. We are doing live Discord. It's not just Carl. We've had 2 other people pop in, although Carl has been very nice and kept me company for ages. Is it not like 11 a.m. at this point where you are? 11
No,
p.m.
it's 11 p.m. Yeah, it's 10 past 11, which means I'll probably be taking my leave now.
I will also be finishing up in 20 minutes or so. So I don't blame you. But thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. It's always fun talking to you.
Great.
Have a great time, man.
You too. Toodle pips. Thank you so much.
Okay, see ya.
See you.
Now I just need to remember how to get out of this. Oh, there it is. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, this was attempt one at running open Discord channel. I'm very grateful to the several people that have decided to pop in. Who knows, at some point we might have 5 of you all in the call at the same time. That'll get interesting if so, but I definitely want to do this again. Definitely want to have the live audios again. I'll need to. The only scary thing is now what I've been streaming. The stream's been going for, well, it'll be coming on 3 hours, and I have no idea what the audio sounds like on your end. I assume since people have been joining in the chat, you could hear Carl, for example. Hope so. That would be really bad if I've just been talking this whole time and you've only had half the conversation. Yeah, we've had a whole bunch of people join the Discord, so hopefully the next one we can pull you in. I'm so close. I'm so close to getting all of these done. So if anyone wants to pop in for the last 20 minutes, do feel free. I'll probably wrap up at past, so I can go to bed, then get up and do all the work thing all over again. I can definitely finish off the dry brushing, but can I get these all based in 20 minutes? Almost every time I've ever put a vote up, it's been no, and then you've been right, and I haven't managed to do it, so I'm not holding out for much. If anyone wants to pop into the Discord, there is a link in chat, and I believe in the video description as well. And remember, if you are interested in getting any 3D printed models, like I said, my friend's just opened up his own website, the Wonder Emporium, and you can use the discount code. It's not an affiliate code or anything like that, it's just my mate has started a cool shop, and so he set up a discount that I could give to you good folks. But you can use Basic Brush 15 to get 15% off if there is anything that tickles your fancy. And that'll be going for 2 weeks. So you can use Basic Brush 15. And probably on next week's stream, I will probably have a crack at painting this Alice in Wonderland model. Or then again, maybe I should be getting a move on with my Lord of the Rings. No, next week we'll definitely be painting a bear and some Bjornlings, I think. So I definitely have enough models done for my... it's only a 350 point, because it's double storm, it's only 350 points, so I should definitely be able to bash it out. But this guy will be definitely getting painted at some point. It's such a good model. If the detail looks soft, that's because I need to play around with the focus on the camera rather than the model. Yeah, Basic Brush 15 will get you 15% off. I don't know if any of you looked into the Delms heap thing that was going around. So there's a guy who's remade a really detailed model of Helm's Deep, but I contributed some, because basically what he wanted was, it's going to cost him a fortune to try and get them all printed. So he did a deal where he would give you the files if you would print a couple of models for him. So I've got a couple of models printed for him, and he sent me the files. So now I can have my own Helm's Deep. So that'll be cool. Scale replica. Boom. Yeah, my Obi-Wan Kenobi, as I mentioned, he's sitting ready for a collab that may or may not happen at some point. So it'd be good to use Carl's thing as an excuse to finish that model off. What do we think then? 15 minutes. 15 minutes is a sprint to get these all based. It reads ES, presumably for Spanish, and the very first word is pasta. I hope not. Grey rough texture to reproduce the coarse terrain of dunes and rocks in arid climates. Can be mixed with model air or game air, dries in approximately 30 to 45 minutes, can be painted further, tools can be cleaned with water. Oh, it even has a seal, look at that. It's model opening AMSR. Oh yeah. Oh, that is gross. Look at that. It doesn't smell so good. My favourite way of applying any kind of basing material. I definitely ordered a cocktail. And I definitely ordered a coffee when I got this. I didn't just take a handful of them. Oh, yeah. One of the guys has fallen off. I figured I might as well start with this one first. Let's see. Oh, that's smooth. Oh, that's really smooth. I think I thought it was going to be a bit coarser than that. It's like spackle. Might need to add some like sand or something into it. Does that look like mud? I guess it's grey. I'll need to wait until it's painted. I'll need to watch Carl's video DIY basing so I can find out what recipe he did and steal that. See what I mean? It looks just like spackle. Very, very expensive spackle. This is going to be harder to apply onto all the models' bases than I thought. Rob, have you managed to get all of your terrain covered in your texture paint? And the big question is, Kev, is this the same pot that you have in your shelf in that photo? I'd be very surprised if it's not very similar, if it's not the same stuff. It smells so bad. I don't know if that's because it's a brand new pot. I really hope the smell goes away. Not the worst one I've ever seen though. The worst one I ever saw, I can't, apologies if I already told you this. Sometimes it's hard to tell what we've talked about in Hobby Hoarders podcast and what we've talked about on here. But did I tell you about the guys who used actual blood on his Nurgle models? And it was awful. And they smelled so bad. I went to the TO. I was like, look, that is health and safety problem. I don't believe it was the guy's own blood, but it was not good. And they smelled. No plastic models should smell. Gives it's legit the same stuff, and I also thought it was expensive spackle. Yeah. Do you know I have so many pots of that, like for different jobs that I've used it for? If I could repurpose it, that'd be pretty good. I didn't watch the video. Do you know what? Ninja manages to put out a video every single week. And I don't know why, but they always sometimes take a little bit of energy for me to watch. I hadn't actually watched that one. I can't remember if I was busy or something like that, and then it just gets buried in the feed. I'll go back and watch it. Was it good? It was a witch elf, wasn't it? Ninja decided to paint with blood. Have you noticed that so many people release stuff on the same day? Like so many of them do like a Friday. We need more people releasing stuff on like Tuesdays and stuff. Do you know what? That would be really helpful actually. Like an Excel document that shows you all the creators and what days they release on. So we could work out what days other people should release on. So we have constant feeds of stuff. I tried to go for a Wednesday personally. Because I felt like that was when I never saw something on my own feed. Maybe I'm not following enough people. Maybe loads of people use a Wednesday. Can you think of any days where you look at your feed and there's never anything on that particular day? I've managed to do, let's see how many I've managed. Four. Let's try and do 5. Then we'll see how we're doing for time. How many do I have to get done? Is it going to be like 4 a minute or something like that? That's going to be worse than that, isn't it? So let's see how many other 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 54. There's 6 there, so 60, and I've done 6 of them. 8 minutes. So I would need to do 5. I would need to do a lot. Yeah, okay. There's no way I can do 12 in a minute. Midweek is always quiet for the feeds. Not sure if there's a bigger uptake on a Friday since it's close to the weekend, but I find it has a negative effect if everyone releases their stuff on the same day. I agree. Although on a Friday I tend to have more time to watch them. So it is also a catch-up day, but I agree. Why is it not all spaced out? I wonder if there's a thing. I think there's a YouTube stats thing. And that's why they release it on it. Or maybe they're trying to play the game where, like, well, if everyone releases them on this day, most people are going to watch them on that day. So they're more likely to pick mine up, maybe. I like a constant trickle. Also, I'd be curious to know, like, how far back can stuff go? Like, if you find a new creator, how far back do you watch their videos? Do you watch just their most recent ones? Do you watch every single one? Or do you watch them backwards until you see a noticeable drop in quality? For example, it'd be interesting if any of you haven't watched North of the Border. You probably have. He's a massive channel. He's got 1 million subscribers. But his latest videos, he's so smooth and suave and self-assured. Hey, my name is Adam, and I like to make tiny, nerdy things. But in previous videos, he doesn't have his catchphrase, and he's not quite as suave. So I wonder, like, how far would you go back before you just stopped watching the old videos? a lot of the channels that I've met through doing the YouTube, you know, they'll only have between 30 and 60 videos, so I'll just spam all of them. I'd imagine some of the older channels have even more. What is the furthest you've gone back watching a new channel? Out of curiosity, what's our top concurrent viewage been at? Wow, 14 people. Hello. Do you know what? I once again totally forgot about Twitch. Oh no. The problem is I don't know how to do it where I can like view comments on the Twitch stream. So if you have been watching this, I'm so sorry. Hopefully this isn't going to make a noise. I'm so sorry. It is. Whoops. Oh, hello to the person that's watching on Twitch. There's 2 people watching on Twitch. Hello. Ah, okay. I found it for next time. Twitch people, I will also post in the chat of Twitch in future. I hadn't worked it out. Now I have. Five minutes left. Can I get to 10 guys of them done? Based. Come on. There was no need for the poll. Definitely wasn't getting all 60 done in the last bit. But they are all painted. So that would be 2 streams. So say 4 hours to paint 60 guys. That's not bad. If it was any other game system, this would be an entire army. My friend said the multi the speed painting video, he said it would have done a lot better if I'd done Space Marines instead of just random Lord of the Rings models. I've got a little list of future, a second video where I probably will do Space Marines, but 4 more techniques. In fact, Kevin might have been you that suggested one of them with the dryer sheets, or was that Rob? I'll definitely be using that technique to create marble, because that looked really good. I've read up a whole bunch about it, and it works for baby wipes, and I have a profusion of baby wipes, so I can make marble using that. Oh, I was watching a really satisfying video on Instagram where the guy was doing custodes, but he was spraying them gold, which looked fine, and I was like, okay, cool. And then he was like, the text said, this is the most satisfying part. And then he starts scratching at the gold, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he was peeling off. He'd put on the latex like mask, and was peeling it off. And underneath the gold on all the main panels, he'd done a beautiful marble effect. So his custode bikes, all the panels were marble, and then there was the gold around it, and it looked absolutely amazing. So that definitely needs to be on a speed video. Another one I want to do is paint it oranges and reds, and then put like black crack paint over the top, so that it looks like the model's on fire and boiling from within. So that'll be good. But if you guys think of any other techniques for speed painting an army scheme like this, where the entire army is painted the same way, do let me know. I guess zombie? You paint all your models like zombies? But that would still require you to, you know, sort of think about their clothes and stuff like that. I might give another bash at the Sin City one, because I do think that doing it in grayscale and then a single plop of colour can work really well. I just don't think my attempt of it was particularly interesting. So what that's 3. If I can get to 4, I'll make it a video. I guess you could paint them all as ice statues. That seems a little bit lazy though compared to the other ones. Maybe that's episode 3. Swamp things? Do I want to quickly dunk these in the sand before it dries? Maybe. But I think with that is a good place to call it, because I too have to get ready and then immediately get up at 6 a.m. for more work. So thank you so much to everyone watching, especially to those that joined the audio. That was great to hear your voices. It'll be good to do another one of these maybe in a month or two. Especially after I've released a couple of videos, so I can get you guys feedbacks on, or maybe we can do it where we watch a video live. That'd be pretty cool to do like a premiere where we chat through the video and get feedback live. That'd be pretty cool. But otherwise, have an absolutely lovely evening, and I look forward to seeing you next week, as everything seems to have worked grand. So fingers crossed. I will see you next week. Have a lovely week, and remember to battle a backlog. Tara!